Free advice guy. I've been a certified financial
heading into the fourth half of this series, and 100 Thieves are still yet to win a pistol round.
It's been tough for them so far. Now trailing 3 rounds to 9 of MIBRs. It's time to start this half off the right way for them, or about time to wrap things up, to be honest. On MIBR's map pick of Icebox. So my eyes turn to 100 Thieves Duelist. Talked about him so much before the game. Cool start to this second map, but now a ghost in hand dropped over to him, armor as well. It's time for him to show up big.
Had 0.97 KPR in the regular season, the highest of any players in Americas. Cryo was electric, but he's yet to get that going here in the playoffs, and well, he's not on the right side this round. Said it's pressure towards A, but there's a 4-stack here from 100 Thieves. They're ready to try and hold, but it's still going to be an onslaught. Busio through the smoke. Everyone's blinded up, but 100 Thieves do well on the conversions. Now they have to take the time to back away, or they'll start to lose more, because it's back into a 2-on-3.
Quick flank. Cryo's just sprinting through spawn right now. Can slow things down now because MIBR do not have control of the spike.
One enemy remaining.
Nice shot. 100 Thieves Duelist. It's finally the Duelist head-to-head we've been waiting for. In what's likely a fairly meaningless situation, Cryo's going to get the job done for 100 Thieves' first pistol.
Very nice from 100 Thieves. Wait for contact in main, pop back through with the dart and the dizzy, and win out in the brawl.
Now, the other thing 100 Thieves did, I don't know if you guys are paying attention to Cryo's money at the start of that round. Yes, he had a ghost skin from his teammate. Yes, he had light armor. He didn't buy any utility. He was holding on to 400 credits, maintaining that he can guarantee have an operator for round 3. 100 Thieves realize how far behind they are right now.
Guys, win me this bonus. I promise you we win this game for free.
And look, they're setting up my point. Because what I'm trying to say is he wants to have that op on a quote-unquote bonus round.
And to prove it forward, they've bought him a Guardian. He still has almost 4K in the bank.
Bro's just getting handouts. One of the things 100 Thieves do well, too, is especially on the A side of this map, the way they fight together and play complementary angles has been a strength of theirs consistently.
Oxbox is here, and there's trades coming through, but Asuna, good spray transfer. I think he might have just righted this ship. They're not out of the storm yet, though. Guns to be picked up on this side, and a plant going in for Cortesia.
And those guns are kind of deep. I don't think MIBR have a chance.
Retake is fast. They won't let the guns be picked up, but do they even need them? Cortesia with the Sheriff for 1. And now a 1v2 for Verno. Xander up top, spotted out, Verno has it down to a 1-on-1. Busio on the other side. Only a Sheriff for the IGL as well. Tap on the spike. Verno sees the stick coming through, knows it's gone halfway, and Verno, the shot too. A clutch to win out the eco round, and MIBR back out on top, shut down the hopes for 100 Thieves.
Verno, ever since joining this MIBR team, has just been a treat to watch. Now with the Red Bull clutch, always alive in these late round situations, but so effective for the squad. It's just a disaster for 100 Thieves. There's one bit of saving grace, the fact that yes, Cryo still has op money. Bad news is, no one's headed to him.
And no one else really has a gun to speak of. They force fully into this round. Regardless, Boosie only has a Sheriff.
Trap play with the Dizzy ready to go. 100 Thieves contact. Ooh, but it's popped a little early.
No one's home.
So MIBR leave completely, and at the same time, they've got a late mid lurk in form of Shenum. work. It's creeping forward. The timing here could be everything.
Shannon.
Cryo has no idea. The utility was not set up for him. And
Oh, and
now
now
he's been
Shannon
spotted.
knows. He's ready. That's the Jet backing away.
Let's go!
He's just going to tuck in. As the team comes around on a flank, if he gets the kill onto Cryo, then MIBR have massive padding in this post plant. Cortesia, he's the one to open this up still. A slow Jet working through defender spawn. But MIBR holding the line well. Cryo still gets one. Maybe a chance for 100 Thieves yet. But down goes Cryo. And these last two players, they don't have the guns for it. MIBR yet again come out on top. They navigate that post plant perfectly.
They navigate that post plant perfectly.
100 Thieves. And Shenham choosing to play a little bit more cautiously. You know, instead of taking that angle against Cryo, he just tucks straight into the site. Says, we'll play numbers, we'll bunker down here. That op has no chance of really swinging back in on that line. You can see it there. I had no idea.
So down 11-4, 100 Thieves call a timeout.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do?
They're broke again. They've been forcing these last two rounds.
Well, you lose the anti-eco, then you buy the op, that falls down after trying to force up around 15. So they're kind of forced to just go for it again and just keep going for these all-in sort of nothing burger buys.
The one good news, they have Thrash.
Okay.
But
Let's go.
Okay, you want to Thrash towards A. I'd put some money on MIBR, just setting up on the high ground angles, put the op somewhere that Thrash isn't going to be able to get it, hold the site through. It's in no way a gotcha for 100 Thieves.
The only thing that's giving me hope in 100 Thieves right now is that they've seemingly just won their thrifty rounds.
Yeah, to this map at least.
It's not logical. And it looks like, again, MIBR are calling around Cryo pretty perfectly. Cryo's just been offsides every single round. Every single round he wants to play A, MIBR playing B. When he's on B, MIBR go A. He's been struggling to find the shots, find the fights even in this half.
Sander, that's a judge, and, well, it's already dealt with.
It's a bold strategy, folks.
Yeah, the old
Man.
Personally, I can't condone that, but...
It works more than it should.
That's true.
But not this round.
And at the same time, look, Cryo has pushed up into A main of early info, but he can't actually go for a flank without being spotted on the turret.
Artson gets a spike down. Osbos takes off Lucio. I think just spamming back through the smoke there.
Yeah,
Poor 100 Thieves.
In favor of grouping back with his
I wonder if the Sentinels will tweet after this, or they're going to wait until after their game.
Osbos.
We'll see if they're about this life or not.
Almost got another there. Just a hair off of where he was standing. The 3-on-5 players getting spotted out, and one by one, they're just getting dismantled. MIBR, it doesn't look like a contest in this round. 100 Thieves put all their money into it, and they get nothing in return.
Ruh-roh.
Just brutal. 100 Thieves have to go back.
Ruh-roh.
Another force to try and stay alive in this. And honestly, look, we came into this expecting MIBR to be the favorites. Sort of curious what our first look at Omega versus Alpha groups is going to be like, and it's certainly delivered to expectations.
Yeah, it's living up to the preconceived narratives of those Omega teams and how strong they were looking throughout the group stage. They'll get another chance at that next game. SEN facing off against C9, but for now it's 100 Thieves putting another stand on a forced buy round. They've gotta. 8 rounds between them in overtime.
And again, Cryo just on the wrong side of the map. MIBR are just coming up heads with the coin flip every time.
They've got some knives as well. Osbos. When that orb drops,
Alexa Smith. Yo, thank you for the follow.
Sander gonna stick around and try
To give you some background, I'm a financial advisor. Oh, here we go, here we go.
That's 2 kills, the lockdown broken. But MIBR winning.
Okay, hold up. Now it's 3. Hello. I'm a financial advisor. I'm free. I'm trying to help the world. If you have any questions, I would love to help you out.
Between Asuna and Shenum.
Oh, does he see him?
Break first. It's gonna be Asuna.
Oh.
Shenum takes him down. Just paves the way to a victory for MIBR.
You and Cryo, a 2v3
Yikes.
retake.
And look,
Try and stay in the upper bracket here.
they've been the top performers for 100 Thieves in this map. But Cryo's down on 1 HP. EU hasn't got any armor. There's still Shenum in mid. It's over.
Yo.
MIBR 2-0 over 100 Thieves.
It's beautiful from MIBR. A 13-4 victory on this second map. Outstanding lurks from Shenum. A step up from Osbos on the operator. And a right dismantling of 100 Thieves.
Yeah, if map 1 was an example of how MIBR can still beat you when Osbos isn't popping off, this was an example of how badly MIBR beat you when he does.
Yep, 24-9 for Osbos. Cortez at Shenum, both 17 and 11 right behind him.
Classic stuff, classic work on MIBR's best map of Icebox.
MIBR, that sets us up for a qualification game against Crew on Saturday.
That's such a banger, especially if we get Icebox in the pool. Both those teams so good on the map.
Our two best in this league playing on the Icebox.
And on the other side of things, a 100 Thieves NRG elimination match.
You like Valorant, Alexa?
Need I say more?
Cinema.
That'll be a good one. That's coming up tomorrow. Not a lot of time to prep for 100 Thieves. Losing this map means they'd have to qualify to Toronto the hard way.
Get a chance to look back through these rounds. Cortez just started things off beautifully. Again, on the defensive side, his B hold was locked in. And apart from a few muddier rounds on the A side, on those low buys from 100 Thieves, where they sort of overwhelmed MIBR trying to play the passive lines, I think MIBR were very much in control.
The entire second half after losing that eco round felt like desperation, just having to force buy into every single round, and MIBR just looked perfect in running away with it. It's a big win for them. People had high hopes, top 3 in kickoff. They just narrowly missed out in a long BO5 against Sentinels on qualifying to Masters. Bangkok was the first Masters.
Stream's going well, Alexa.
Osbos had missed in quite a while. But now
Living the dream, trying to help people.
They're one match away in what should be a banger.
How'd you find me, Alexa? If you don't mind me
The
asking.
most impressive part to me, right? It's the combination of the veteran status of Osbos Artsin right next to those rookies that continue to impress week on week.
Well, one of those rookies that has been on point all stage is Cortezia. He's standing by with Liz for your Verizon post-match interview.
Thank you so much, Ender and Mimi. And I have Cortezia here from MIBR. A wonderful performance from you. First thing I got to ask you, I need to check in on the mustache, the beard, because you said we would see bearded Cortezia, but how do you feeling? Are we going to keep the beard? Or are we going to go back to the mustache?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep the beard now.
Oh, why?
It's
Why
growing
do you
up
like the
really
beard?
fast. I don't know, like 2 weeks ago I shaved my beard and now it's really growing like really fast. So I'm trying to be, but I always have the mustache option
Yes.
because I already know it's good, you know?
Guys, which one do you like more right now?
Oh, I don't know, probably the mustache because I get used it a lot with the mustache because I use it, I don't know, 3 years of my life and the
Wow.
beard is like a new thing for me.
You're 20, so you had a mustache since you were 17?
Like 15? I don't
Oh
know.
my god,
Yeah.
okay. Well, going into the game, the first thing I want to ask you is about Osbos. Osbos had a colder start today, was missing a couple op shots here and there, but there was this kind of understanding that you were fragging, the team could step up. Emily said, Osbos and family. How does the calling change? How does the atmosphere change when Osbos, your star fragger maybe isn't doing Osbos things?
So the meta Tehran Breach is really hard to play against because I don't know. We have Aspas. Every team who play against us, every round, every day, every week, try to like throw everything on Aspas, and it's hard for him to play. So on Icebox, is his map. He loves Icebox, and so for me, he did a really well series because on the split as well, he did like a insane pistol. Like 2 headshots with Sheriff, I don't know. Like
I'm an artist. I do work for gamers and
one
streamers.
round,
Oh, okay, Alexa.
6-1, and
Well, I'm pretty good on mine. Yo, what's up, Soft?
After map 1, he said you guys felt really
I would
confident on your
be
access,
interested,
really hard.
Alexa,
Can you
in
talk a little bit more
a
specifically?
change for my
What about
camera
graphics? What about the timing?
background, or not my background, my camera outline.
day by day with Pretz,
You know, this thing.
Inferno is a new guy on the team, so
Here,
for me,
wait,
I average
there,
is, like, for me, the line
there,
to
And there. I would be interested in that, but I'm probably going to do it myself, or me and my wife, or I'm not sure. I'm also, I wouldn't mind some of these, Alexa.
Well, in order to get to Masters,
This doesn't really say anything. I'm not really sure what to put, but I don't know. It's pretty cool. I got to talk to my wife about anything, though. Whoops.
Next game.
All right, well, everyone give it a
Yo, Soft, what do you think of this goal thing down here?
right there, because I know you know what game is next. It's Sentinels versus Cloud9.
Crowd was not cheering much. Ooh, I saw that. Did you guys see that? Zelsa's talking trash, bro. Zelsa's talking trash. Is Evan Mobley, drop your Discord name? It's free advice guy. But Soft, do you think Evan Mobley was deserving of Defensive Player of the Year?
Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. Gamers, hybrid workers, artists. Backing your every move.
All right. I'm okay, Alexa. I'm not going to do anything. Would have easily been... Oh, that's true, huh? He didn't hit 65 games, did he? Yeah, that kid is going to win a lot of Defensive Players of the Year. It's going to be wild, man. It's crazy in a league full of seemingly supernatural freaks. He's like the most freaky.
C9 is a fun one because I feel like they kind of found like their confidence in all their players.
Mitch holding, trying to get this one halfway, and he gets the kill. The time, it's close.
He got it.
Mitch down to the wire, and he's done it.
SEN is obviously a very solid team. We scrimmed them a bunch.
Are they saving? They gotta go. 2G has to run, but they're going straight into Bang, and he's putting them down.
I think going into playoffs, there's going to be a lot more pressure. You're playing for a spot in Toronto, or else you're out of luck for a couple months. It's it's going to be a lot on the line, and I think whoever makes the big plays are going to qualify.
Playoffs is a whole different beast. Like, it's a whole different like feeling. It's a whole different feature. Like, I just feel like they are going to be a little bit shaky in playoffs.
We're going to go into the match and just play our game and play confident.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure we'll beat them.
Pretty sure we'll beat them.
Oh, doggy, it's going to be a good one.
Man, I'm pumped. Let's go.
ACT America Stage 1 playoffs and our second match of the day. It's going to be a good one. It's Sentinels versus...
Can broadcasters be biased?
Chibi here back again with Brent, Doug, and Emily. We look to break it all down. But first, we've got an update on the bracket because this is where we are right now after that win from our friends over at MIBR. They locked themselves forward. They're moving on in the competition.
Do they face Crew? Right, Crew, right? Man, they're putting Brazil versus each other and then America versus each other in the next games. That's weak, man. Weak.
In the side of MIBR, right? Definitely showed it. On Ice Folks, I mean, that was just an absolute sweep.
Yeah, no, for sure. Now, do have words. I broke the bracket, unfortunately, so you guys are going to have to blame me for that. Pero it's okay, papi. Let's move on, shall we? And talk about Sentinels because they are looking to make Toronto and get that redemption from Bangkok because we all know that was not the result that Sentinels would have wanted there, Emily. But you know what? They also were able to get that momentum by, well, Ben Affleck. A.K.A. my Bruce Wayne, A.K.A. Holden McNeil. But seriously, though, Emily, this Sentinels team looked good.
No, they look so strong. Like, I want to highlight, actually, Bang. He really impressed me in these past few matches. Like, it's been insane. It's been so nice to see him pop off. And also, yeah, the Affleck buff, what can you even say? Like, that is just aura. That is aura.
Smoochy booches, you know? I mean, that's if you guys watch anything from Kevin Smith. But, you know, it's okay. You guys don't watch Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
No, I've seen that.
Dogma?
That's 90% of our audience, by the way. No about what this guy's talking about.
Go watch Dogma. It's a classic. Anyway, now, of course, Sentinels are looking strong. But here's the thing. Let's take a look at this map pool here because, friend, some stuff is kind of sticking out a little bit here.
Now, this would have been nice with some percentages, but there's a point to make here, which is the center really only winning on 3 maps right now. Haven, Split, and Pearl. So the point I kind of want to lead in with this is that there is a major win con for Cloud9 again to kind of work this map veto in their favor. Now, we're not going to know until a bit later on whether they can do that, but Cloud9, on the inverse, they've been playing as many maps as they possibly can. They've been spread out, they've been trying to essentially get themselves tested on a variety of different maps, and they've got good looks on a lot of them right now that Sen are looking pretty, you know, essentially lost on, I would say, to be honest. They've been losing some hard maps over the course of Stage 1 so far. So, for me, it's like, yes, Sentinels have been looking better and better and better. Don't get me wrong, we were talking about that, they've been improving it a lot, but their map pool so far seems to be quite small. And to be honest, to make it deep in playoffs, you've got to have a deeper map pool than that. You're going to be tested in a best of 3, and if you want to win it all...
All right, Soft, and we're reaching the point that I'm getting close to banning bots. I reached out to, I don't know, those friends or whatever, told them to, like, hey, if you're watching me, quit. I'm banning everybody. Start from scratch.
Look at the situation for Cloud9 on the maps that Sentinels aren't playing. Their win number's pretty small as well.
Yeah.
And so
the numbers as well.
Yo, what's up, Dave? Yo, are you home?
So I look at that and I go, okay, well, hang on. Cloud9 aren't necessarily
Oh, you text me. Hold up.
maps that Sentinels are struggling on either. But now the other side of the equation, you take a look at the teams that Sentinels
We will, Dave. We will, Dave.
Sentinels have looked better. I think Narrate has really come into form, blah, blah, blah. All those things, great. They've beaten 2G. They've beaten Loud. They've beaten 100 Thieves. And then they've beaten EG.
Yeah.
I mean, right, so let me just pour play.
Flavor Dave. Yo, I appreciate you, brother. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate the prime, brother. I appreciate the prime.
No, even then, they found some sort of success, so...
True. Also true.
You gotta feel pretty good if you are a C9 fan. This is probably the best form that you'd want from C9 heading in to the playoffs here. But let's actually get a little bit more words from Cloud9 and hear from the assistant coach who's standing by with Liz.
Tonight or this weekend? Do you work tomorrow?
Now, Cloud9 has performed, or played, every map in the pool publicly. Sentinels have managed to stay away from Ascent and Fracture. Does it worry you at all that all of your maps are public and able to be reviewed by the team?
No, not at all. I think it just makes their vetoes a bit...
Okay, well, let's consider it.
Well, best of luck.
one of us has been known to fall asleep watching TV before.
With that shirt. Right now. I gotta be out there for my ball brother, okay? My favorite coach, Emmy.
Oh, the Oxy one was last
Yo, you like that Paducah?
Sure. They just have a shirt press there. They're just making shirts on the fly.
All right, so I got it for both. So when I'm live as well, it'll be like this. But bow, we do this.
Thank you, Papa. No, it's because of Oxy versus freaking Zekin.
This is all because of you, and I can mess with the colors and stuff too. But my wife liked black and red, so I went with black and red.
About this, I want to see what we're gonna get because both players are playing out of their freaking minds.
Yes, no, I'm a big
Okay, so I don't know when this is gonna end, Dave. So it depends. If this ends at a time that I can still help put the kids to sleep, I'm gonna do that. Then it would be after that. But if it's after they go to sleep, then I might just call the stream after. I'm not 100% sure. But it would definitely have to be after these games are over.
I'm just looking forward to both players disrespecting each other.
Low-key, Oxy is putting up numbers, and I think his play has improved so much individually, because it used to be the case that when he was like coming into franchising, I mean, the guy was overheating like every other round. I mean, he's mechanically so gifted that he didn't really know when to say no, like when to stop going forwards. Yeah. But he's instilled a lot of discipline into himself, either through his team environment or himself as well, just getting better as a player. He's now, I think, laying claim to potentially being one of the best duelists, if not the best duelist in America.
This is Valorant. This is the first week of playoffs, or the first day of playoffs, really. So we just saw MIBR versus 100 Thieves, and now we're about to watch Cloud9 and Sentinels. SEN City Rise Up!
It certainly bodes well for how you're doing in your career, and honestly, as a reflection of how the team is doing. Guys, this is a Cloud9 team that we've talked about, and they have their playoff woes, and they choke when it matters, and this, that, and the other, but I get a different feeling about this team heading into this round of playoffs. This is not the Cloud9 of old.
Yeah, and look, while there are a lot of good things to be excited for Cloud9, there is one player on the other side that Doug you mentioned briefly, and it's Nary. This guy has come into his own. It is really scary to see how well he's gelled with the squad, Brent.
What hot girl? Are you talking about the... I think they have her thing. If you're trying to look at her... Yo. I think it's MLEQT. You know what's funny is, you asking is literally the reason they have her here. Actually, I don't know. Is she an ex-player? Let's see how much she talks. I don't think I ever connected that this voice was this dude. Right, it's like nerd, 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 normal girl. Although the dude on the left is kind of like normal. Although maybe I just think they're nerds because they're Valorant players, but who knows.
Well, let's actually check in with Elizabeth here and hear from Bang from Sentinels.
Bang!
Now, your opponent today is C9, Bang, and they seem to be making greater strides every single time they play. Are you worried that you were not prepared for their performance today, considering they surpass expectations every single time?
To be honest, I'm not too worried about it. I feel like we're a good enough team that if we just play at our own caliber and like the level that we're usually playing at, I think we'll be perfectly fine. I'm not too worried about how well they're going to show up.
Best of luck today.
Just one question?
Hey, and look, I respect that. I think it's great. I'm happy for you, Bang. But here's a problem. You got Vic on the other side, okay? And this kid is making a case for Rookie of the Year. This kid is nasty. And the combination of Oxy, everything that's happening there with C9, it feels like it's a perfect storm, Emily, of pieces that are kind of fitting in place here for C9.
No, it is. I'm literally a Vic fangirl. Like, I am such a big fan. He's probably been my favorite controller player to watch throughout this whole stage. He isn't scared to take fights. Like, he's willing to take those fights, but not also over-aggress. Like, he still knows, like, to stay in his lane, but it's been scary just seeing him kind of...
Wait, was that Vic?
Just go.
Vic kind of looks like Cryo.
Necessarily something that you would have expected here, Doug, but now you got, you know, Vic, you have that firepower from him. You have the firepower from Oxy, two people who are bringing that to the table. And let's not forget, you know, the rest
Oh, man, Dave. All right, so this is big, too, because whoever wins this game moves on. The loser moves into the lower bracket.
Yeah, again, I think a completely different tale from
Hey, if we don't watch Andor tonight, would we be able to watch tomorrow, Dave. Although I haven't streamed on a Friday night in a while, but
praise and definitely has grown even just in his time on this roster is Mitch and the calling that he's provided into this. I mean, it's been beautiful, and it's not just calling. He's been fragging. He's been.
Yeah, you're right. If you're just an audience member, you have no idea who these people are.
This is going to be an excellent matchup here. We got Sentinels versus Cloud9. Winner moves on to tournament. Loser goes down to the lower bracket. Let's go ahead and bring out our two teams. Elizabeth, the floor is yours, homie.
Riot Games Arena, it's time for a classic North American smackdown. Make some noise for Cloud9!
Woo! Yeah, if you lose here, you're not probably making it. Losing in this opening round, it is going to be so hard for you to qualify. What is it, top 3? Can you turn up the stream volume? Yes. Actually, I think what I need to do is turn up this.
And it gives me a lot of hope that this C19
How is that?
What it takes. What are you seeing, Doug?
Are we talking about the swagger from
I just went from 0.6 to 0.8.
He didn't want to do
Yo, hit me with the chain, brother. Show me the hamburger. Let's go.
Chest hair.
Show me the ground beef up there in the chest. You know what I'm saying? Hit me with it.
Honestly, I had questions about why Googly was doing the arrival.
Yeah, people were saying the game. Dude, that dude, he looks like Cryo.
I love it.
Vic looks like Cryo. That's kind of wild.
At least for me, this is the most confident I've ever been in them.
Sen City, let me hear you. Make some noise for your Sentinels!
Sen City Rise Up!
Now, a big thing that we
Narrate, John QT, Bang, Zekin, Zelsis, Kaplan. Let's go! Let's go, boys! I got my kids saying that, by the way, Soft. Let's go, boys!
Highlight that I saw on Twitter. When he started popping off, he was wearing this jacket, and now it's like they do not let him.
Let's go, boys!
He has worn it every single match since he's like started popping off.
Let's go, boys! Hey, we gotta keep that show. We gotta keep that show. I thought it was locked. That's my bad.
Okay, yeah, they're 4-1.
I think it is, but it can't.
I will say, if there's any team that has been successful
You want me
against
to?
lower competition, and the questions are around can they deliver?
Can you be Kaplan's
against
assistant
stronger
coach?
teams?
Dude, that would be sick.
Is one that I am
Let's go, boys!
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if you can hear my kids, but it's like my favorite thing in the whole world.
If necessary, Icebox. Start there with
Ascent as our opener. Now, when Cloud9 played this in the past, we only got to really see the defense side. They're going to have to start on attack. But in terms of the map pool overall, as we were already pointing out, Split, Pearl, and Haven, the maps that Sentinels basically have only been winning on right now, they have 2 of them removed from the map pool immediately. So if this goes the distance, I got to say the advantage goes to Cloud9 again, but it all hinges on whether or not this opening attack side from Cloud9 actually has something behind it.
I actually have reached out to Sentinels twice to ask if I could work for them. One of them was through their forum, and then the other one was through the when Dapper was looking for an assistant, I think, for Qbert Academy. I reached out and offered my assistance there. I'll probably try it again, but I need to get a little bigger, I think.
What was the thought process going into
But I thought it would be cool to financially advise them. They probably have advisors, though. Right? They have to.
What do you make of this layout here?
Dude, honestly, I don't even know. I was expecting like maybe like a third map would be Split or something, or even as a second map. So seeing Ascent kind of completely threw me off. Going into Pearl, looking at their past comps, they both had success, but I do enjoy Sentinels comp more with the single duelist versus Cloud9 where they run the double duelist Sova.
Yeah, well, we'll see if this...
They're not running the double duelist.
Oxy and company here, that double Sensi comp.
Their defense is probably one of the best halves of Valorant I've ever seen, to be honest, on this map. I mean, that's a very high praise, but you can tell how much time they put into it because of how often they're changing around the defensive setups. It all comes down to the attack side, though. So Sen they picked right. They're playing defense first here on Ascent as well to get the chance to show us what they've got.
Oh boy, and we got our, again, these compositions, at least from Sentinels, nothing really all that crazy. You're going to be keeping those eyes on the jet there for Sentinels, see how Zekin and company is going to fare in this one. certainly going to be pressure here. You can see our team also working with the team, or with the players, excuse me, down on stage, so we'll get that sorted out.
I see your ears being big around. I start worrying. I start worrying.
No, it's all good. We'll get this sorted and we'll jump right into the action.
I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but we've talked so much about how successful Cloud9 are in the defensive
These
side.
guys don't even have to pay for rent. Hey, that's all right, man. Keep saving. We can set their investments up. We can set their pay up so that they never have to touch it, and they just continue getting pay off of their pay if that's what they want.
Oh yeah, it's a double Cinti comp. It's really easy. It's very. Let me go ahead and tell you, tried running it on our premier team. Was not as easy as it looked.
Yeah,
we went like 1-1 that week, and we lost every single scrim.
Yep.
It's hard to do. It's really hard to do.
What were the weaknesses that you had identified with it?
Oh, I don't think we have enough time. I don't think we have enough time.
What were you the weakness, Doug?
Let's just say I learned a lot about how difficult.
See, like unknown,
it's not an easy vanilla comp.
unknown rider soul. Are you real? Are you a real person?
To running it well.
Good points.
Astro, are you a real person?
Let's go ahead and jump into the action. You caster this one. Look, guys,
man, going 24/7 was like the worst thing.
And not at all scary. It's
the worst thing I've ever done.
Not scary at all.
Thank you very much, Desk, and we have an amazing matchup for you.
Yes, they do, Dave. Yes, they do. Also, can I convince you, Dave? Tomorrow is Revenge of the Sith.
But C9 not so much.
Exactly.
Opening.
Their story is like amazing.
Can we go, brother?
Yeah. And then just crashing out during the playoffs.
And if you tell me you'd rather watch on your couch, I'm gonna crash out.
In the upper brackets of this playoff, it's actually the first time that these two teams face against each other in 2025, and C9 coming with a whole different iteration with two new players versus when they played in the Red Bull home grounds during the offseason.
Absolutely.
Also,
listen, Soft. It sounded so good. They're like, you can't help but get people to follow you. I'm like, all right, your community growth. Hey, listen, everything they said was true. Everything they said was true. They just don't really tell you that, like, you lose your chat so easily, bro. And I'm okay losing track of chat when, you know, if you become a gigantic, huge streamer. Okay.
To focus this A, they've chosen correctly to start things off. Stuck behind the wall. Stuck behind a bit of utility here. Now we see Sen trying to get back into the site as Net takes one down. They're still just milling about, getting themselves sorted out here.
I don't like it.
It's like 3 from Sentinels already to crash back in once Heaven gets ready.
Just gotta wait for this wall too, so once they knife this out, they'll have to start popping out through this door, but there's still a sonic sensor on the other side that could stop them.
Just there, Oxy looking to provide that noise. They get stuck just a little bit. Oxy taking the fight, has protection over his shoulder, but Zekin's gonna be able to trade.
I mean, I'll literally, my wife, Free Advice Girl, gave me the go-ahead. I'll ask again, Joda Joe, are you real? Are you real, Joda Joe, or no?
Celsius, John Cutie getting that Ghost in the Classic to do some big damage here, but it's up to the Vive Merchant. Can he do it? One jumping right click, and there's going to be a tight timer on this defuse. That's Mitch, that's the Classic, and that's C9 with a pistol round.
C9 off to a great start, and again, not being tested on the attack side, you can still see that they have good utility on the execution for the 8-side attack. Although, one thing that's been good for Sentinels is, of course, the IGLing coming out from John Cutie, who's actually pivoting away from the tail and playing a KO on this map here.
Let me see here. Let me see here.
But he had a good read in the very beginning. 4 players stacked in heavily towards the A side, leaning towards Zelsis' wall for information towards B, so they could play the retake. The read was good, but the utility was even better for Cloud9 when they blocked out all the entries that Net had, buying the wall, going for the Net, and trying to stop them this round. As Sentinels are trying to be aggressive.
We have to see if tickets are available, though. I gotta be straight. We gotta see if tickets are available. I don't know that they are.
Sen guessing site to site here for round 1 and 2 as they organize around B. You can see it's very light on util, just a Razorvine out for now. And just alert coming in from Vic.
Definitely still a lot of respect given to Cloud9. Sentinels does have refreshable utility that could be very good to snuff out the second wave of C9, who potentially is also waiting for the grab net back from Net to activate. So already making a lot of noise at the very beginning of the round. Why not? Let's grab the orb. Let's min-max here on the side for Cloud9 and try to figure out Sentinels are going to be...
Are they going to go B, or is that Oxy faking B? That is Oxy faking A.
Back from the spawn side between both the Yoru and the Omen.
Yeah, I like the fake they can produce with this.
Exactly.
A little bit of noise, action, the flash, and the ruse. the play is actually going to be at B. And they get caught right in the 0 point.
So they're going to say, hey, that's Yoru. That's Yoru.
Oxy, they know that the hit's going to be towards B. It was a bad fake, so they have the perfect stack for this so far.
30 seconds left.
Right back. Net on one, but Zekin will trade here. You still in towards
Yo, let's go. No, no, no. Yeah, that was pretty sick though.
Through the archway at B. Looks like a pop flash wants to come through. Zekin's going to use that.
Yo, okay, let's go. Get that. Yo.
Weapon upgrades as well. Pop flash trying to delay.
No. Oh. Oh. No way. No way. Yo.
Great eco round for Sentinels. Again, we talk about the good reads coming out from John Cutie. When the knife only
What an incredible eco.
Woo! They knew exactly that the second wave.
They do, man. They do. Yo.
And they have util, refreshed util coming out from Mateo. The crossfire is being set up. And look how clean Zekin looks here on a 1v2. Stinger brought up.
Yo, I'm Zelsis, bro.
And Zelsis is standing up tall.
I can't grow hair. Zelsis can't grow a beard. But we are the same.
Get a plant on the first 2 rounds. They want to invest into this one.
One of the big things Emmy said between games when playing G2 was that they have to get ahead of the team in the server, mostly against G2 because they win before they even get in. So it's about C9 staying in control, staying in front of Sentinels, and that buy here hopefully helps them do this. They spread the map out even more.
Yo, how did wow, C9 is buying into this. That's actually a big surprise. I didn't even notice that. C9 buying into this is a little bit surprising. They're all broke.
Playing a lot of regen buys, regen shields. And he's just going to post up very easily to get the first blood onto Zeppa. So that forces now Cloud9 to stay as a group and try to find the right timing to hit towards this A side. Util to start spamming towards tree.
Annihilation prepared.
Got one.
Thrown out to sight.
Oh, he missed.
No.
Right side,
No.
The Stingers just seem to be the higher prio weapon right now that's doing the damage. Plant on Jenny and a quick shot from Zekin. Always good for the one.
He knows you're there. He knows you're there.
Ready for another member of Cloud9. 3v2.
No way. Yo, that's crazy. Did you
is playing huge. Vic, the unsung hero since the Red Bull home ground, since he joined the squad. Can he collect this one over New Jersey's finest?
Oh no, he knows.
One shot with the outlaw. Good read by Vic to not get pulled by the diffuse on the fake from Zekin.
Fakes on fakes here for both of them. Into
No.
the side, one shot miss.
No.
Vic's gonna get it. He's gonna get a 3K on the round and enough to take it for C9.
That's big. All right, my bad. Did you end up going like all into it, Baduka?
Into VCT Americas and proving his point right here on a 2
Stock going up 100% is crazy, by the way.
Bladestorm, when a team's trying to flood within the site, and he even loses a teammate in the process towards Generator, he still picks up the 1v3 towards the end.
Jeez.
We're going to have a highlight reel of Red Bull clutches in this series. They talked about this game being intense on the desk, and we're already witnessing
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad for a single day, bro. Oh, it went right back down.
He steps up to the table in these situations.
I dig it, man. Is that advice for the community or what, Baduka?
Just about every series. Back towards the A site.
No.
C9 is being very quick with their attacks, knowing when they
No way! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go, boys!
Round 4. And you know when you're going to play against Cloud9, you will have some very fast.
Let's go, boys!
Blink and you miss it.
All right. This is my favorite thing.
Push from C9.
This is my favorite thing again.
Who couldn't get the kill into Generator.
But I talked to CEO and he said the current value of the company should be around 20 million. Really? What's it? What is its value actually? Market cap. Wow. Hey, you know what? If you're okay with it, Baduka, I can make this a thing. I'll throw $1,000 at it as like a hey, let's see what happens kind of thing. You know what I mean?
And that's for Sentinels right now. The cheers are there. But don't forget it, the Cloud9 fans are ready to support them as well, as we're all tied up here 2-2. And this low buy is going to mean C9 goes hunting in mid for a little something extra.
They're crossing over. Big flash, but they couldn't push forward to get the pick. Although Net stuck through.
Net clears one and actually pushes Zekin off his line. They have the front side of B now to slowly creep in once the vines go down, but they have to be worried about how fast Sentinels is going to close back in on this.
They have to tempo quick. Zekin has nothing.
No.
The shorty.
The Guardian pickup for Oxy. Straight through dimensional drift into the round. Zekin's going to say
Yo!
back to the side, and he clears it up, making sure
No way he gets out!
Now it's just finding out
No way, dude! Get out of here! What am I watching? What am I watching? This is crazy, bro. I swear to you, I've seen Soft do that at least 5 times.
A great read in the very beginning for Cloud9. You're trying to go for the trades. Your honest broken by. The best weapon that you had was a Guardian. So you pull out the Steel Guardian out from Zep, or you're weakening the weapon towards the back. But it's a shorty in the back of the site.
Oh, man. What's Cloud9's, No, you know what? I'm not going to make that joke. Never mind.
Within 6 rounds. And it was a head-to-head between Zekin and Oxy, but so far it's Zekin writing the story for Sentinels in the series.
Absolutely. We were looking to where the octane would come from right now, and Zekin.
Yo, what a pinch, bro.
What a play towards tiles. Armageddon comes through as well, and Cloud9 didn't even get it.
Woo!
This was a bye for Cloud9 in round number 6. Zelsis is fired up right now for Sentinels.
Zekin's line is okay. Yeah.
Giving a little taste of C9's own medicine, the aggression coming out on the.
You know what's funny? I really want to go to one of these. Frost and Michelle were talking about going. Dude, Frost and Michelle were talking about going to Toronto for Masters or whatever, but I really want to go. And then I want to see myself on camera as a 40-year-old man, soon to be 41-year-old man, going ape for Valorant. People be like, what's going on?
C9, who won. They get that flaw. They get the second round or
hey Ray, if you're real, I'll come and talk to you right now on Discord, Ray.
On this round, they're just gonna have classics, but Sentinels have a plan for
right. I wonder if they'd even put the camera on me, to be honest with you. Yeah, I have to trim my beard to about. Me and my wife were looking in the mirror. I have to trim up like this much if we want it to be fully shown there.
Crazy.
But he's been good under timeout calls, so trying to understand.
Or I don't think you guys have seen this because this is goofy. Give me one sec here. Actually,
aggressive against Sentinels are down for that. They're down to go down and dirty and trade. It was an issue that he kind of had towards Bangkok, but something that they started building up here towards Split 1 to see. You know, the level of comfort that they brought last year for the Sentinels run. And again, look at that. Haven't been playing since Champs of 2024. On the defensive side, it's getting money, but there are out on top of it.
All right, what do we think now?
A lot of players alive at the end. They have so much money to work.
Is that obvious what I'm doing?
Further on into the half.
And there's no tape for Sentinels.
Look how small my head looks now.
What Ascent has to bring is one of the maps. We've yet to see them on here. They still feeling comfortable at this point.
Can you tell it's in my shirt?
You're not seeing for Cloud9 after this timeout, though.
But look, you can actually see my shirt.
Something that
reported. Identity theft. Identity theft. All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. But could you tell it was in the shirt? That's the question.
Because of like a regular round, how serious they took it.
And already Sentinels winning here in terms.
I can't believe we've already had 3 no-way rounds.
Oxy, just to try to bait
in 6 rounds.
Potentially go for a better split later on, or try to sell some sort of fake. And with the wall still staying up, it seems as though with the meta mark, they kind of just want to stick together and go for the death ball. We talked about a stinger buy that wasn't for a full team, but at least you have it on Zeppa and Net.
And that wall is
I trim it myself. I do have a barber for when.
Always getting that first vision and happy to back into.
Man, he walked out of there, huh? All right, yeah, you're not crossing. So I went for the first time in a. Oh no.
Just swings out with a drive-by on the Sheriff. That's everybody in sight lane. Now it has to be Sentinels to react.
Zessa still gets caught by the Annihilation.
Oh, they're not going to get that back either. Wall's going
to
go up to protect.
But anyway, to trim off like 3 inches of it, because something was going on with my beard that I couldn't stop, and I couldn't figure out exactly why it was happening. But
they're actually not watching the angles from a distance here. Trade 2 for 1 as Oxy tries to stop the bleeding there, but he goes down as well. Can they get this one shut down? Mitch and John Cutie both one shot to the weapons they have in hand right now. And that's going to be Mitch again with another one. A 3K to get the clutch.
Another thrifty round in this series, going back and forth from both teams. So what a nice call by Cloud9 coming out from the timeout, despite not bringing the wall up. Look at the huge.
But I trim it myself.
To enter towards that site. The net grabs Zelsis. The paranoia blinds on top of lane. And even the annihilation coming out from net forces then Bang to cancel his ult because he's out in the open towards the back of the site. You just come out of from the shadows, you get annihilated, and that's it. So he had to cancel to get so much space, and they're in good position for the Pulse clan.
And what is it? A thrifty for C9, playing those ecos smart again. Opt for second as they try to set up some hard lines here and shut down the speed of C9.
We know here in these gun rounds so far, telling the story for Cloud9, it's been shut down right away by Sentinels. This time there's a little bit more room to breathe. An execution for a split towards the B site, combined with the Hunter's Fury towards the back of the site. It looks like we're stalling just for a bit.
Okay, trade for trade, we're at a 4-4. There's Narrate and Oxy that have fallen here, so it should be still pretty easy for both teams to defend and get into sight on the retakes. They don't know Zekin's back there. Can they pinch him in? Oh my gosh.
No!
This assault comes out, just gets everybody to scatter here, and that is
all right.
going to be tough. Sorry, that was
Zekin with the op.
they go down in the round.
Hey, Ella, are you real? Ella.
Online, and now Cloud9 have
are you
something to
real?
worry about even more so than just taking sites.
We talked about the buy rounds for Cloud9 being immediately shut down, and it's been kind of like the story for Cloud9 on their attack side so far. But getting 3 rounds out of 9, playing a double Sentinel comp. You got to take it for now.
I was looking at what Zelsis' ult. He just got more kills on the round anyways. It almost looked like he didn't even use it.
So is that 15 now? Yeah,
all right.
Crazy, bro.
So where do they go now, Vance? Back and forth on the rounds we go. There's still some money for C9, but only the hero rifle for Oxy.
That's the only thing right there working for Oxy, and they're trying to use it towards the 8-5. At least it trades out, but Nary gives the advantage for Sentinels at the very beginning. Now the weapon's out. They can't really pick it up yet. Unless they're able to push here, that person right back, and that's going to be Nary. Thankfully, the L drone pings them, and they can salvage this weapon and maybe turn it around once again for Cloud9 on another thrifty.
Sentinels are starting to gain a little bit more map control here, getting their orb grabs, getting the early fights in their favor, and they are not.
A is kind of soft.
They have more info on the extremities from this. Any way to further shut down C9. Still 3 members alive, and this lurk could get sketchy here towards mid from Zeppa.
Let's try to find a timing. That's twice that happens here for Sentinels. Leaving the wall all the way back to prevent a push, but 2 times it's been punished. They got to change this wall now for Sentinels, but if not for Cloud9, they're pitching in towards this A site. They have a good read.
And a beautiful shot from John Cutie to start shutting this down. Narrate just on the edge, and they know they're going away from the operator. They're trying to pin down the rifles, and they just have one more inside A site now. The IGL, John Cutie trying to call the shots here, can't do it without the help of Zekin.
Dude, it's crazy how many rounds they lose that they shouldn't lose. I know they win rounds that they shouldn't win, but they lose rounds they really shouldn't lose.
On fire so far, it doesn't even matter if he gets pinged out. Dashes forward.
He does one. Zekin already pulls the
No way, dude! What is this? What is this?
What is going on with Zekin today? This guy's unstoppable.
Dude!
How does he get a 360 shorty kill onto the first guy and still has time to go for a quick scope?
And he is pushed into that play.
Hold on. To be fair there, okay, that was insane. There's no way. How does he not get shot there? How does Zeppa not clean him up there? There's no way Zeppa should not have cleaned that up. There's no way. He slow peeks with an op. Has to zoom it and then fire. There's no way Zeppa should have missed that. No way.
And you want him in fort positions, he's getting an op kill. You want him to anchor towards the B side, he's going to get some picks. You want him to
and he has for sure. We take a slow start for what he's been able to do. Woo.
Sentinels are hardly changing anything about the defensive setup. A little bit more rotation possibility for John Cutie as he can lean from site to site here, as it's still Cloud9 trying to toy with mid. They didn't break the wall earlier since it's such a weird spot to get up and push with the angles that have opened. So using the clone for that.
Exactly.
They still have nowhere though.
It's actually a good one to bring the clone out that time. Remember, we talked about how they were punished with the wall towards M3, towards the spawn. Now a double swing to try to punish the crossfire setup from Sentinels, but war attrition. A couple of utils being thrown out. And a small stalemate with 50 seconds left on the clock. So C9 could now continue to work around the map, try to force these rotates.
So if I'm them, I would start isolating Yoru by himself.
Elsa sees a shoulder. They both are able to trade that vision. And C9 still trying to hit almost on every point of the map right here. Back towards Cat. They still have Teo. They still have a bit of a crossfire towards site. Narrate's ready for the side shot.
Yo, I thought he was going to miss that.
Through the wall at the end. And now he's pinched. But he gets the paranoia help. Sight help from the team.
Woo!
And it's absolutely huge.
Time to save, Vic. Time to save.
The paranoia and the cleanup from Sentinels, the teamwork is absolutely immaculate for
That's
them.
what I was wondering here. Vic was still holding towards A main at this point. Still had a paranoia. I don't think the knife was ever thrown by John Cutie towards the front.
No, just on Cat area.
I'm assuming right now Cloud9 or that previous round was trying to push forward, trying to find information so that Vic could throw
yeah, all right.
Cloud9 to really move
that
into
works.
the site. But they were getting shut down. No communication where to throw the flash. And that's a small little fumble coming out for the first time in this series, I got to say here. Because both teams have been really fighting well, toe-to-toe, reading the good macro. But right there at that spot, there should have been some good reads coming out here, at least some assists from Vic to allow those players on tree to move in.
And I think C9 call a timeout. Vans, you pose the question, is the attack side something we have to worry about for C9? Starting on attack and not starting on defense. Once they get into the site, we saw the speed they were trying to use. The Deadlock can lock it down, the Vice can lock it down, but Deadlock and Vice aren't necessarily great for taking that site. So we're seeing them, C9 get stalled out so much now.
There's definitely a game plan around Cloud9 around this composition.
Yo, what's up, Chris? Yo, how did you do that, Chris?
Against a KO, for example, and also a Teo.
I don't think I've ever seen white text like that before.
Cloud9 has such a good defensive side because not only can they pivot the util back and forth.
Yo, it's been a while. It's been a while, Chris.
Quite aggressive at the very beginning of these.
Hey, the last time we talked, Chris, I don't think you knew what I was doing here, but I'm a financial advisor, and I'm a free financial advisor. So if you need help, man, I'm just trying to change the world. Spread the word. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming back.
So they have, what, a 12-1 on the defensive side. So getting 3, again, as I say, it's not too bad looking at Cloud9 because they look very clean on the defense, but for sure, coming out of this timeout, that's why Imi's using both of them right now on their attack side, just to try to salvage these last two, when they once again have not too much utility to work with, or in terms of weaponry, but they have the ults, and they've been really good with the Annihilation hit the last time around.
And looking at Sentinel side, you always have to look at Zekin right now. The operator out, now from B main, pushing mid. And
man, what a push, bro.
So even if we do see C9 getting a sight, that hold becomes that much weaker.
How have you been, Chris? It's been a long time, man. It's been a long time.
I think that's 18.
Yeah, I've never seen this. Your name, so from the, I have timestamps on, so from the timestamp to your name to your text is all white. I've never seen that before. I guess it's just your name that's really different, but anyway. But how's life treating you, brother? The last time we spoke, I was just a Valorant streamer. I'm still a Valorant streamer, but I do more too. Woo!
John Cutie playing that angle perfect.
Yo, my man adapted or died with that setup or what?
That little
Bruh.
ball through Market could not make it alive. Sentinel starts to pinch in from every which way. They're varying up things that C9 has looks at, right where John Cutie is getting those kills. Zelsa's played a few rounds ago, so who's playing it and how they're playing it is changing. C9 may be expecting a bit of the same, but they're always seeing a lot of different things here.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, yeah, they decide to use the Steel Guardian for Zeppa, or that split. Don't do that, John Cutie. What happened last time when you did that little one? But trying to get that split towards that B side was fully denied, but at least they have weapons to work with this time around, and also still some more ults. So leveraging Oxy this time around, who's been relatively quiet so far in his head-to-head matchup between him and Zekin, could get a lot of information here for maybe doing some sort of combination with the Dimensional Drift and also the Annihilation from net, so that they could open up a site. But they have to figure out where Sentinels are currently positioned, and I love that to start. A great first blood from Zekin, but at least it gets immediately traded out, and that's finally C9 working on those fundamentals that were kind of needed in the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, they're trying to put their cat hold back together here. You see quickly John Cutie coming around if there needs to be a flash. They get the drone, they'll have the knife. And it looks like they are going to try to Dimensional Drift over here towards A. The step up though from Bang just to get a little further and take him off guard.
Nice, let's go, narrate.
Narrate coming in, closing down the site.
Ah!
Previously, Rajan
He said, blah!
rotating each other around.
Yeah, where you going, Zeppa?
But still, the hold is just the same. And there it is. Zeppa goes down.
Down. That's where you're going. Going down.
Quickly pulling away early.
Yo, 9-3. Let's go.
Finally, you're starting to get the ult and also Zekin on an operator. That's been something that's been a pain point for Cloud9 so far, but I love this position from Bang. Getting in front of the dimensional drift. Creating ruckus, not giving a chance for C9 to activate here on the attack, but hopefully they can here on the defensive side.
Sen City looks to keep the momentum going when we come back from the break.
It's for you. Do you like it?
All right.
Come on, Charlie. Use your new door. Come on, let's go. I said go. Let's go. Silly dog. I'm going to trade you for a cat.
Silly dog. I'm going to trade you for a cat.
The new Red Bull Zero is here. 100% wings with monk fruit extract.
For new moms just starting their journey, the advice that I would give:
have grace, be kind to yourself.
You're okay. You're doing okay.
It's so normal to feel
I can't believe they're putting a
out of control.
mom ad break on Valorant. Are you guys seeing this one too?
A lot of time for myself.
Oh, no, I didn't.
No, the short answer is no, I don't.
What's the Regalo family? Scan here to enter a 3-day vacation in paradise for mom. All right.
Let's set with Kristen S. Hair. Hi! What's the vibe today? I'm thinking something chic. You know, perfectly imperfect.
Ready for you on set?
Now I'm ready. Kristen S. Hair, stylist created.
The 6-round lead on Ascent, the pick of Cloud9.
But this is Sentinels, so it is definitely not
is known to be pretty
over.
good on defense, but can they find that play style now after Sentinels came out this strong?
You got to find ways to shut down Zekin so far.
Yeah.
If not, it's going to be a pretty easy first map for Sentinels to start this series.
Like the team deathmatch score for him out there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You see the position from C9 at the, from Sentinels at the very beginning here. It's just going to be to scale up to try to find some information. Bang is all the way back at the top middle, so he's trying to listen for some information.
A lot of damage onto Mitch, and that's not going to refresh.
This is tough though. Mary cannot overextend so far because he has his spike, but thankfully a defensive smoke will allow here his teammates to meet up with him.
Okay, that's a quick rotation to A, or I mean to B.
Just buying more time, making a little noise. They want C9 to dislodge themselves from those initial positions here and feel uncomfortable. Right now, the deadlock wall is going to prevent any of that, though.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing from Sentinels, the way that they're just holding back and forth in the very beginning. They're expecting this type of aggression coming out from Cloud9 on the defense. And you're seeing it slowly. It's a scale. Look at the minimap. They're actually pushed out here towards the A side. But now the read on the wall.
They don't even check it!
Wall takedown, it's going to be Logs. And they do hit Narrate quick. Second
See, Soft clears that.
Fast with the kills on attack. It is a swarm from Sentinels, and now they're going to have the site. Zekin Sheriff is still going to be lurking around here. Looks like he will stay close to stairs. Trying to make sure he is one of the crossfires on the outside of this boathouse so they don't get utiled, and it's going to be the 2-1 split here from C9.
They need Oxy and Mitch to get value out of this recon flash. They could maybe get some wall bangs with these ghosts.
Oh, the flash into a recon so they can't dodge would be perfect here if they can just get it over the wall in time. Vic's trying to draw the attention. 1 and 2 come out from the left side. It's the util. It's the fight now.
Nice.
Sentinels
all right, let's go.
And they instantly wipe down the 3 members of C9.
Yeah, Sentinels already knew the win con coming out from Cloud9. Trying to get some pings off that recon. Bang throws the smoke, hides into it. And then the rest are playing towards the back of the site. And you even see the position, I think that was Zekin, in front of the default boxes, so they can't get pinged if the recon goes towards the back of the wall. So again, I just think that they have really good understanding of how to play against Cloud9 so far. even though Cloud9 have only played this map once this split, they've always second banned it against other teams, thinking right now that the domination that they had versus Levington will be enough to play against Sentinels. As they're trying to walk out for contact, the Stinger by. As backs against the wall in the first map, they have to try to make a play.
And what else would C9 do but push on a round where they might be forced against the game point very soon.
Get out of there,
Sentinels, knowing they buy, backing up, still lose second. That's how hungry C9 is to get these Stingers to go to work. All the deadlock utility at A means they can start to focus a little bit more of the map here.
But they did do some damage onto Oxy and Mitch. Both of them quite low, while the rest on the side of Sentinels, you still have 2 rifles in the hands of Zelsis and Narrate. That's 2 body shots and the players are down.
Delay on delay. 54 seconds left. Oh. With the spike moving, this becomes interesting. Unless they hit a little bit cat and go back to market here. I feel like they might stretch themselves a little thin, but it looks like they'll just leave that one lurker.
And Zeppa just threw a flash onto B main, and it did get the contact onto Zelsis, which is why we're not fully rotating yet.
Yeah.
All the way towards the A side where they were trying to work before, but everybody's taking control of the map around Sentinels.
Easily back towards mid. That's going to be timing on the wall to drop it. Oxy's not going to think.
See you later, Oxy, bro.
Bang was already there. And now Mitch, like you said,
boom, 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 boom.
No! How much damage can they do? And is it enough to shut down the rest of the members of Sentinels? 12 seconds.
Get him!
This gets a pivotal kill inside sight so they can get the spike down. And this leads
Bang's just looking at Narrate. All right.
On the half armor to come in. Bang already takes one out, and that's going to be Zelsis.
Let's go, boys!
Sentinels gaining control of the situation very quick here to get another round.
I don't know if you guys can hear my kids, man. But...
He's already sitting in the sidelines.
Oh, man.
Activated here for Sentinels on the attack.
Oh, man.
Very nicely done on how they controlled around the map. And yeah, another small fumble, unfortunately, coming out from Cloud9. The wall's been activated. There has to be a call that potentially there's going to be some sort of pressure out of Sentinels on the other side towards that spawn. And Noxy gets caught rotating across.
Nice! Let's go.
Coming out from Bang. And
Stark.
yeah, they're getting worked.
They are getting worked. A stark difference already in our duelist that we tried to match up today in Oxy and Zekin. Oxy at the bottom of the board there for C9. So Sentinels is not letting him get online, and it has been a problem for C9 here as Zekin is just running away with this game and the team behind him.
And C9 have to be worried too. The nature of the composition around Sentinels, if they're going to try to play it very passively in the very beginning, or if you're trying to play a la G2 sometimes, when you're pulling out these salvos at the very beginning at the entrances of A main and B main, it renders it very difficult for C9 to play as aggressive as they want to. So C9 definitely has a lot to think about here to try to come back in this first map on their map pick.
Woo!
Double swing denied at the very beginning, and C9 are in a position where they're pretty much going to force every single round.
It's from a 1-3-1 hold. Usually that's just for info, but to get a collab, like, Sentinels is in the position, everything going their way right now, and they can do no wrong, rather. That's going to be the flawless round coming in as they get it to game point here, 12-3 on Cloud9's map of Ascent.
And the game plan simple here for Sentinels. Just stay back towards the spawn, let them walk towards you. Zelsis gets a beautiful double kill in the very beginning right here.
Yeah.
But that's what you kind of have, as I mentioned before, C9 has to do this type of play where they have to try to find information. They have to try to go for a buddy system and maybe punish the extremities. Because if not, if they're staying turtled within the site, you might get hit by a KO knife. All that util from the Sentinels are gone. The Sentinel player is not, of course, the Sentinels team. That could be rather confusing.
Yo!
Okay. Finally, some sort of hope here. First blood coming out. And even
Wait a minute. And this is why C9 is C9, because they can do this and you just don't understand where they pulled it from. Wasn't a timeout, wasn't anything. They just activate on mid. No other kills are on the map. Mid. Everyone mid. Maybe some rotations from the side, but it was in mid. And I think that was a little bit of that C9 taking control of the game from the beginning, right? It seemed like Sentinels had the rounds every time they started, but C9 finally can inject themselves a little bit there and show that they are worthy of taking the aggression.
Took better rounds, but maybe C9 were finally figuring out here that there wasn't enough pressure from smokes on middle, so let's just all by Guardians and move down and get these picks.
Just go mid.
Became kind of easy.
still have a long way to go here. Another 8 rounds. And it's kind of squashed the question of will Sentinel's map pool be exploited a bit here. I think they've really just had this hidden in their back pocket.
What a nice flash by Oxy.
All right, it was a decent trade. Oh, never mind. I thought Oxy was way more hurt.
In something, even if it's pushing more, being aggressive more. Sometimes you got to go outside the box. Push around as well. This could be huge.
Yeah, see, look, Oxy purposely went with the regen armor.
Timing on the map.
Interesting.
They may lose it over to the side of Bang, but that's not going to give the rest of Sentinels a free path to Bang.
And he's walking through. Right now, if Sentinels could continue to delay towards B main, they need to find it to allow this so that Bang can find the perfect timing in the back of the site. No more. Fortunately, though, Nara gets spammed through the smoke, and that's already a player down.
He's just trying to live for one more kill.
Yo!
Finds one, and now John Cutie knows. Gets the flash out, can't get it yet.
Yo!
Double tap.
Hey, run, baby, run!
Yeah, exactly.
Oh!
Take a TP and grab it, and you stay as a team with 30 seconds left. The thing is that
wait.
Canceled he went back towards the A site to plant while John Cutie was going B.
Yeah, he was going B. Oh, bit of a misdirect there, I think.
Stealing sight.
He's delayed enough time.
Yeah,
the paranoia is being thrown. He gets out of position with the TP, and now John Cutie meets up with him.
Oxy first. Oxy goes down first. Mitch makes a distraction.
No, Bang! No! Cut Bang, Soft. Cut Bang.
To take this round and bring it to 5. Inching their way back in, but Sen could explode at any time. They have the economy, and they have the way to do it.
Yeah. I really thought that John Cutie was going to try to drop the spike a little bit earlier so that Bang could actually have a safer TP to pick up the spike. I mean, he had to pick it up out in the open, which is probably the reason why he had to cancel, just in case somebody was waiting on the rotate towards the market. So as he canceled it, he's still towards the garden. They split up for the plant. And thankfully, Oxy was still in dimensional drift. If not, that was already GG. Gave a fighting chance there for John Cutie, who unfortunately couldn't clutch the 1 versus 2.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true, because it's normally one of their worst, right?
Pockets here. Trying to push himself up the list. Goes for the operator now from the defensive side, and we saw what it did for Zekin. Can it have the same results?
It's posted up on middle. He does have full reign. I mean, the TP's still up. They're trying to find an angle here towards tiles, which may work.
They expect it.
Okay, actually, I don't know how his drone works.
And they actually give Zekin that space immediately. He takes it so fast.
Oh!
The shot just over Zekin's shoulder.
They both just missed,
Both
though.
actually make it out pretty healthy on that one as Oxy will regen just a little bit, and Zekin takes this fight for himself.
I think Mitch actually spotted the players up on Cat 1 when he droned out from the garden. So C9 has a pretty good read here that they're still very slow on the hit.
Yeah.
Now Zekin's got to run.
And a split towards the A site. You're playing across map though, so the Razor Vines are still really good.
Beautiful, nice. Right on the Razor Vines as you see Zeppa over at the B site. The utility can be used.
Yo, he didn't even see where that flash coming from.
Not getting hit.
Yo, your chat's so dead, even ghosts are leaving. Time to resurrect it with dogehype.com. Yo, I don't know if Free Advice Girl's in here, but you hear that, Free Advice Girl? We need dogehype.com if we're going to get rid of the ghosts in our chat. No, wait, if we're going to bring the ghosts back to our chat, girl.
Too little, too late. We almost have to ask that on every round as they've allowed Sen to get to 12. And the pressure rounds must make it so much more difficult.
Yeah, and they don't really want to go to try to make it expensive for Cloud9, even though a couple of them could still buy within the next round.
10 seconds left.
Zekins seems like he's one away here from the Blade Storm. But for the last 2 players, John Cutie and Nari just want to save these 2 Phantoms.
Oh.
So far, so good. Zeppa. Not a good story finish, unfortunately, there for John. For John Cutie. But C9 did a really good job here to shut that down. Again, doing a little bit of a classic in terms of playing on extremities to avoid the utility or avoid the KO ult. So they had a perfect delay going out towards the Razor Vines or the traps to be placed. And you see the combination. A nice little one from Mitch, taking down Zekin, who still is currently on fire, 20 and 10. And it forces out the first timeout from Sentinels.
I think C9 finally getting the op, and even the shot missed on Zekin slows down a bit of what Sentinels has to do, or activates them to push towards the site. They activate into the Razor Vines. They were kind of not on their own time is the whole point. And I think C9 likes that. So at 12, game point, and losing 3 in a row, a timeout coming in from Kaplan.
Yeah. Thankfully, on that previous round, they already found out that Oxy is wielding an operator.
Exactly.
So now the timeouts is, can we try to push him away? Are we going to try to get the blades from out from Zekin so we can have a healthy buy overall across the board for Sentinels? Leverage Zelsis' ult and just overpower Cloud9. And it may be that start because all of Sentinels are leaning towards this A site. Away from Oxy's position currently. He's just waiting for the right time to get the TP out. You can see him, he'll place it across here on the top of Heaven.
Yeah.
And then try to get a pick towards the B main. So all of this is being avoided by Sentinels in the very beginning. The pop flash potentially is going to come out to swing out towards main.
Second orb into knives. He's going to get that right away. Only a shorty buy so they can get the money spent around.
Oh, and they're going to go hard.
Oh yeah. Somebody's going to get caught by this. That alert on the way in. Steel Garden goes down. And look at that. Zekin just shooting.
Let's go, boys!
Knows he's there. A shorty from Zeppa here, wondering if he can get out of the smoke without being seen first. As the Phantom comes out next.
How'd that miss?
Enough to get one, but Zeppa cannot get out alive. Shots towards hell, and that's what it feels like right now for Sentinels inside A. Mitch again on the clutch versus Celsius. Spike is planted. Plenty of time to play with a few fake defuses and push into the site. Celsius with no utility here, not even the Rose.
Back up. He knows he's towards the left now.
Half is there. Goes for the top. Mitch gets another one. Mitch keeps Cloud9 alive. Another clutch for the veteran.
Okay, can somebody explain to me how that right-click Zekin through missed? Does anybody know? Because that feels like impossible. No way, dude. No way.
Celsius to break the dart right away. So with the ping coming through, you're able to get it halfway. You could now play the time onto Mitch. He dodges the flash and turns back to get the instant headshot onto Celsius. Again, because Celsius shot. He knew he was on the left side of wine. He could just turn, go back, look to the front. Potentially could be a Pulsar flick of the day.
Honestly, since Mitch back in the inauguration of Valorant in 2020 to when he's brought on the team now, has been one of the most flexible agent/players with gun use too. Operator, Vandal, Phantom. You can look for it all from Mitch, and he's really.
Somebody named Squirrel on Discord reaching out to me saying they're the Squirrel on Twitch.
Now they have to clear just 5 more rounds to bring it to OT. Actually, a tough task to ask with how the game has been going. As Annihilation starts off and will grab narrate first, but he's saved.
Now they place the wall on the attack side too to prevent any type of Cloud9 B-side crunch. So knowing that there's not going to be anybody close. Beautiful ult coming through from the Armageddon. Here comes the hit from Sentinels.
Nice spam through. They're trying to get these shots before they even happen. The Phantoms are helping them do it through the smoke. Still clearing sight, but Zekin goes down for one of the first times he makes it in. Or no, Zekin goes, he gets a kill, I should say.
No.
Oxy answers back. The duelists are firing hot right now, and who's going to overheat on this one, and who's going to keep their cool? Dimensional drift goes through, so Oxy knows exactly what's going on in the back of the site, and now Mitch starts to creep into position so they can activate the protocol. Just to the left, spam through the box. It's a tough spot for a second as he can't get help from John Cutie on the same angle. A stiff wind will blow Oxy down, and a quick transfer could take Mitch as well. Almost there, but it starts up top.
It's just Squirrel. So let's see here.
The HP remaining on Mitch and Oxy.
Yeah, if you just go to twitch.tv/Squirrel. It says they want to be my friend on Discord.
So far in the chaos, those Sentinels have been doing an excellent job on these hits. But C-Line, when they come back to try to fight, not giving a chance here for Sentinels to really set up to a plant or to a post plant. It's been very close towards the end. And thankfully, again.
Let's go, Francis! Let's go, baby! That's all you! That's all you! Let's go! Come on!
Uh-oh, they're getting hyped. I don't like it.
Don't usually hear too much from him. Not getting hyped right now.
He's been loud this split for sure.
Dang.
Ever since he came back now into the VCT stage, dropped by G2 last year. Coming back this time around, I mean, he mentioned it in an interview. I think that was with Sage Tween that mentioned that he was basically fighting his own demons, playing against himself in terms of not being able to get the confidence to compete here at the top level. But he's been doing pretty decent, not necessarily only in the kill department, but also in ways that he's using his utility as mainly the deadlock or even a Cypher.
The last few games look great for him. Yeah,
he's an integral part to C9 in terms of how they're working around the site. He's just trying to stay alive, trying to find information into the mid rounds, and has these moments where he gets good assists around his util.
Fans, both timeouts for Sentinels has been called on their game point.
Nothing left now with
and
4 rounds left.
And in the past 5 rounds, they have been called. Yeah. Sen City wants the lock-in here. Can Sentinels deliver? As Cloud9 is riding high, finding the silver lining here on the comeback from the defensive side. You called it. We wondered about their attack side. It was a little iffy. That C9 continues to lock down their defensive side. A low buy here for Sentinels to try and push through on this round.
Off flash, maybe trying to get Zekin to hit the switch. Yeah, it's a full exit in.
Okay. Goes fast. Net's still able to find him in the smoke and the chaos. Zeppa's HP and ammo is just about the same, down at single digits right now. They're all still stuck for the side of Sentinels here in the Archway B. Great use of Razor Vines and a bit of util is going to throw him back. And no upgraded.
I don't like it.
Come of this, just
I don't like it at all.
That's exactly what we're just talking about. Net throwing a beautiful wall right into the main side. So, yeah, Zekin's able to dash through, but the rest of their team can't follow up. And even if they made it through, you still had 2 sonic sensors towards this B site where nobody could jump down towards that lane. But a good read, a good pivot for Sentinels in the mid-round. Still 2 stingers available. John Cutie calls for them to move towards this A site where there's only Mitch playing. And he plays the perfect spot.
Exactly, moving back to be more of an anchor, but not in the site, just outside the site, causing Sen to now have to re-clear main, have a few more things on their plate.
What you're trying to do with this position here is just to maintain the A site. When this plant comes down, when the door closes, especially that, you now know that the players have to play inside the site for Sentinels. So it will allow for the rotate coming back from Vic, from Zeppa, from Net, to fight within the site. But look at the post-plant positioning so far from Sentinels. That flash currently set up from Zelsis could really help delay and fight back here against Cloud9's Blood.
Oh, he gets one solo, and now he can draw the attention. This is perfect for Heaven to start coming out. You can see Net start to sidestep. They're looking for the swings. Another one from Mitch. Does he even need him? No, he doesn't.
Oh, no.
3K for Mitch.
I think Sentinels are going to need DoTribe.com.
Starting to activate as well on the second half. I was just talking about the whole round. He's just got to stay alive, and he's probably going to be the last person moving through.
Yeah,
when they create the ruckus towards the top of Heaven. And now he's just going to walk in.
He's going to be the first.
Casually stroll, get a 3K into that one while everybody's focused towards the back of the site. And remember, no more timeouts left for Sentinels here on the second half. So yeah, it has to fall down onto John Cutie. A timeout that probably was going to be translated within this round right here because Sentinels has money to work with, although not the best. Half buy small shields, trying to keep the economy up for continuous buys for the rest of the half. But C9 are finally finding some ways to fight back right here.
Wait a minute. Oh, they're not coming from mid. They just go for a bit of a push towards the left side. I was wondering if that was going to be a huge attack on tiles too. And now we see no operator in the mix. There was more than enough money for C9, but they realize the speed of the game is going to be changing. There may not be time for an op. Everything is moving pretty damn fast right now, and you have to be able to move at that pace with your team. Bit of a 3-2 split here for Sen. C9 is very active on the defensive side trying to figure this out.
Look at this. Brendan was just talking about now you change things around the walls towards B main. Everybody's pushed up towards middle because all of the Sentinels utils on both sides.
This could be a meat grinder. Hunter's Fury up the middle is not going to give anybody really room to shoot on this one, so they're just figuring out what's happening on the map. B is open. Sen are not aware
They're
of
going
it,
too
though.
slow.
They could be taken out from the right side, but they'll C9 back in position. They enter the site right as Sentinels try to. This movement is incredible.
Trap play didn't really work at the very beginning to find the info, but at least to get the first blood by punishing the push into B main. Now with 30 seconds left, it's up to Zekin that has to try to create an opening.
That timing. Zekin on top of it here. Can he hold for long enough, though?
No! Oh, if he gets both.
Shot there, and now it's still going to be the rotation over. They realize what B was.
Yo.
That could have been a huge kill. That would have been Spike.
One more, though. Feels it. Doesn't look. Oh, second guessing himself. Gets the wall, and he's actually going to get shot in the back for this one. Didn't get a shot. Another 3K for Mitch. Count him up. Rack him up.
And pistols left now for C9 as the steel guard.
2v2. 2v2. Let's go.
Get locked in. One dart. Gives them a bit of a chance to clear themselves into sight. Net takes down one. Can it be another big clutch for C9? This is going to be game, or it's going to be a round continuation here. Net very...
Yeah, baby, let's go!
The right-click classic. Everybody's on their feet from Sentinels in the crowd.
Okay, every Sentinels fan is like, okay, now I can do this. Faith in Zelsis, the clutch god. Understandable. Understandable.
This time, the one by Sentinels that could finally stop this comeback that was coming here from Cloud9. And unfortunately there, if you're a C9 fan, you kind of wish that they had a couple more rounds on the attack side, because they were starting to pick things up here on the defensive side. Yeah, and losing the pistol, losing the bonus, that's gotta hurt on the side of Cloud9. Something that they have to pick up here and clean up for the second map. But so far, we were in for a treat at the very beginning. Sentinels were running away with this one, but C9, they show that they still have some fight.
They do still have some fight. I think slow starts might be a little bit of a plague to them. Oxy not starting off as fast as he wanted to, and the rest of the team slowly taking time to pick up, but that's where we look at Sentinels. Sentinels was making sure their start was slow, bringing in the attack, and making sure they could take Ascent, something we have not seen from them yet this stage, and they show it first in the playoffs. We got more in this series between Sen and C9. Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
I don't really like committing to things. I'm scared. But when Verizon announced that I could lock in a low price for 3 years, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
For Verizon?
Can you hear me now?
Yo. If Verizon goes oh man. Why would they do this? Yeah, Soft, I started replying to some people who are aggressively, well, I'm just going to say aggressive politically. And I hate my Twitter now. I hate it. So I'm done doing that. Bring me back to the echo chamber. It's weird. It's weird seeing stuff that I know is absolutely false, and I can't do anything about it. They just say it. So.
Are they saving? They gotta go. 2G has to run, but they're going straight into Bang, and he's putting them down. Make or break on Haven, and Oxy's already found the opening kill. He's just sending it. Oxy, no one's watching him.
Here with Kaplan, the coach of Sentinels. A little scary there, but you end up stealing C9's map pick of Ascent. There have been a lot of questions about Sentinels map pool, what you guys are willing to flow, what you guys can play. When C9 picked Ascent, what was the plan?
We definitely thought they would pick it. The comp they play is pretty much Gunter's creation. He really nailed it last year with that. So he was really specialized in having a lot of
If
solutions
anybody
for us.
says
We talked
anything
about
patently
throughout the
false
week.
over and over
Got a little
again, it's
lucky
just
there, so
like,
we were I think we were a little too eager to close it out.
like, dude, after doing this, like, my whole Twitter is Trump is a Russian asset. I'm like,
Well, best luck on map 2.
we've already disproven this. We disproved this, like, literally 5 years ago, I think, 6 years ago, and people still say it, bro.
Coach Kaplan there, the confidence for Sentinels came from the fact that they had the plan, they knew what they wanted to do, and most importantly, they had Zelsis with that SEN Classic closing it out. Now, of course, folks, that takes us to a very hectic situation here for C9. And team, I mean, honestly, at this point, I really felt, Emily, so confident about C9 coming into this. I'm sure they did too, because there were moments there where it looked like it was going to happen. They were going to make that comeback happen.
Yeah, no, it sounds like Sentinels did have the read, but I want to, like, sorry, oh my gosh. If Cloud9 started on defense, I feel like it would have been a different story. Like, they had a really hard time closing that out there.
Yeah, and of course, they had a big problem to deal with in the form of Zekin. Because this kid just popped off.
Yeah, Zekin went nuts, and I think a lot of it
Woo!
was him getting going on the first half. He was Kaplan was talking in the interview about the value that Gunter was able to provide on countering this comp.
Yeah,
and
fascinating.
I think it showed in a massive way. I know Kaplan has worked with Gunter in the past and previous iterations, and I know he was very adamant about getting him on the roster. So you can tell a lot of the prep came into this. They knew what the strength points were for Cloud9.
This was crazy.
This play was
crazy.
just
This was offensive. That was offensive. I was offended.
You can like nerd out and draw defaults and all this stuff, but then Zekin can just happen, right? And it's just insane. So I think there's a lot to be said about Sentinels, even in the second half when Cloud9 was starting to come back into it. You could tell they were ready for what Cloud9 were going to throw their way. They knew what was coming, and they were able to...
It didn't seem like they were ready.
Yeah, it got a little hairy, but I think they were in the driver's seat for most of it.
Emily, where do you think things kind of went south on that attack for C9, and really how they were only really able to get 3 rounds out of that? And we talked about what we wanted to see from this composition on the attack. It wasn't all that much.
No, it really wasn't. Honestly, I think it started with them losing that pistol. You know, you're down 9-3, you lose the pistol, you're bound to lose the anti-eco. Yeah. And it was just a rough start. It was a really hard thing to come back to. I don't even think it was the console, but as a team, like that, you have to get so much momentum going, and they just, well, couldn't really.
Yeah, and they tried. I mean, you heard Net, like, he was trying to pop off, right? Get the team back into it. There were moments there, for sure. And, Doug, I think it's safe to say, though, that, you know, Cloud9 not out of it, not by a long shot, but this is going to be an uphill battle to climb here because they're going right into Pearl.
Pearl map that both teams are strong on. You know, you're mentioning Cloud9 run that double duelist comp, and I do think, you know, Emily, you mentioned something in between while we were watching the game about how aggressive Sentinels like to fight. Right, they never gave them any comfort. Are you expecting the same on Pearl?
Oh, for sure, especially on Pearl. Like, they're so proactive, too. Like I said, I think I said last weekend, Sentinels, they're a team of all aimers. Like, I would be scared swinging into every single one of those players. Yeah. And the way that they go about playing is, like, they fight for their space. They fight for any space that Cloud9 wants to take, and I'll see that going into Pearl. And when they don't, or when Cloud9 does have success, they push something else. They take those 1v1s, they take those 1v2s, and it's scary. Yeah,
very impressive stuff there. Hey, and kudos to C9 for trying to climb their way back into that game. Didn't quite work out, but let's actually hear what's going on over in the C9 camp as we get ready for map 2.
Here with the head coach of Cloud9, Emmy, who is here despite getting a tooth extraction today, so feel better. I'm gonna ask you, what happened that map? Was it a failure of the comp? Was Oxy not online?
No, I just think, again, probably nerves, same as the G2 game, but a little bit different. We're usually really good on attack. That's why we saved it this whole time. And we lost some scrappy rounds. We did some misplays. We took a lot of solo fights, and then on the defense, we brought it back. We probably shouldn't have forced bought, but we forced bought, and we brought it back in the end anyway. And it's just a shame we lost.
Let's look him up too.
All right, folks. Well, you know what's coming up. It's Pearl. That's map 2. We'll see how this all breaks down, whether or not Sentinels can pull off the 2-0, or if C9 can force us to map 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you on the other side.
are back for Sentinels versus Cloud9 as Sen take Cloud9.
Dude, they are crazy. Are you getting the same ads as me? The mom ad really tripped me out. How many moms are watching Valorant? Like, my wife loves me and gets into Valorant with me. There's no way she's watching Valorant by herself.
Exactly. If you're looking at the map here of Pearl, at least so far we see the composition from C9. Nothing changes, but they've been 3-1 in this split, making it very close against a top dominant team such as G2, losing 11-13, dominating Furia with almost a flawless round, but finishing 13-1 on that one. But Sentinels on the other end, with this composition as well, is currently 3-0 on this map. This is Sentinels map pick. They're very comfortable on this before. This is something that Zekin mentioned, probably one of our best and strongest maps outside of potentially even going into this one. But now it's the head-to-head battle. You see maybe in terms of the Sentinels, it kind of changes, right? You have the Cypher that stays around net. You have the Vice here for Zelsis, both of them really prominent and good on their respective agent for this map. Although I like to say that for C9, you have that extra trip, and they're also using it for very good information when they're playing the defensive side, where C9 is starting first. And what I'm talking about is that Vice wall that G2 likes to place towards the arc. Net does that with the trip. What it allows here for C9 to do is to work a lot of aggression on the extremities and to play on rotates on from the A side to B because they have this Euro to work with.
Yeah.
Sentinels probably has a good read going into this game because looks like they had a good read going into the Ascent game as well against Cloud9. So when I was really hyped up and trying to see that C9 probably had a chance to push this into a third map, I mean, these guys over on the Sentinels camp have been doing an excellent job adapting on the fly.
I mean, they're going to have to, right? I love what you mentioned about the Cypher because it's more information in those areas, but it also allows you to be ahead of the game more, which Imi absolutely loves. Any step he can be ahead of the other team is perfect. And yeah, the Vice wall is going to let you know when people are coming by, but having that camera around, how are Sen going to play around that? Where are they going to find it? How fast do they destroy it and start messing with Net's utility? All the questions to see how they can shut down that Cypher's defensive
Happy birthday!
Hold. Happy birthday! Let's go. Off to everybody having a birthday today. I'm sure there's a few. All right, we're getting on to Pearl here, our second map for our second series. They're having a birthday. They look like they're having fun.
At least a party for sure in terms of the vibes here for Sentinels. Zelsis has all been stepping up here every single time that Sentinels are winning a round. And now Sentinels on the attack, they are able to take control here of the tempo.
All right, let's go.
Kick things off here on Pearl, and it's a Teho drone to spot Vic. Vic, who's had so many good moments in this split, though, is now suppressed. Can't pull the smoke up, so he has to stand tall with his ghost.
It's a very big commitment here for Vic to stay in. The shots are just missing. They capitalize on one, but wait, it's set by Mitch. They find more. Sentinels is now out in the open trying to get themselves to safety here. Very low health on both sides. It's going to be the Ghost versus the Classic.
Yo, dude, what was that?
Zelsis,
bro.
Merchant takes the pistol round on Pearl.
Finishing the map on a 1v1, Zelsis versus Net, won by Zelsis. Another pistol round, won by Zelsis.
So many whiffs, dude. What?
Picture perfect.
That was crazy.
Continues to vibe here and help out Sentinels to build up the economy moving into the further rounds. That you've seen here on these type of buys that they had. Did go for heavy investments with rifles, bulldogs.
Michael! Michael! Oh.
Not even looking, focused on his screen. Zelsis trying to get the attention, always on his feet. We'll have to see if they can carry right as we get out of this. We'll get an idea of what it is for you as soon as we can and get back into game ASAP here. But like you said, Zelsis not stopping an inch there. Gets the clutch on Ascent to win the map. Gets the clutch for the pistol round to make sure they can start off strong here.
Definitely wants to
just a rush attack to be.
Exactly, and just really wants to get into Net's head here after winning this 1v1. I mean, also, Zekin mentioned that, yeah, I'm looking forward to playing against a team like Cloud9 because they're good friends with Net and they just want to topple him down. Unfortunately, you had this friendly rivalry from these players, right? And best friends between
absolutely.
Zelsis and Coach Imi.
Watching
over at
Zeppa play ranked just a few days, or like yesterday or a few days ago, him and Zelsis were going at it in MM2.
Yeah.
Just kind of chatting it up, being like, "But you lost to them, like 2-3, you got burned." I'm like, yeah, we'll see you on the stage. They're always ribbing each other just a little bit. The crowd's ready Happy to get back in. Some Q-Berts out there supporting both levels of the Sentinels rosters.
That's right. Usually I see a red here in the arena, but you can definitely see that it's split across the board
C9
today.
Thundersticks out there today, and C9 crowd for sure.
This does mean a lot, though, for a team like Cloud9, who's been missing internationals after internationals. I mean, even if you're looking, I'm going to inject a little bit of cope here for C9, and Amy talked about this in interviews and streams, but when C9 actually had these occasions to try to play into playoffs where the storylines is, well, they're missing these opportunities to make it into Masters and Champs, but it was last year when we actually had these knockout rounds where there was no double elimination bracket, and who did C9 had to play? They had to play against a crew team that made it into Champs.
Hey, Bloody Rose, are you real?
And even they had to play against a G2 that went all the way towards the grand finals in a knockout round and then qualified for Shanghai. So they had to play some tough opponents no matter what, every time they made it into playoffs. Now this time, they're playing against a powerhouse at Sentinels that's turned things around since they came back from Bangkok. So it's never going to be an easy run for C9. And either of these teams moving forward will have to face off against G2, as now, back in the server, though, 1-0 for Sentinels. Orbs being controlled by Sentinels as the push from Cloud9 towards main, and it's an easy TP away from Zekin.
Like
run, dogs.
Just the
run.
Animals running out A stairs. They're stomping through. You see Sentinels like, no, we don't want any of that. Low buy or not. Smart play to just redistribute and reset the round. Honestly, they spread out to what would just be a default here, 1 minute. And they're going to go ahead and play a fake onto B.
It works.
And get over to A. Yeah, that's working really well. Look at everybody leave A now.
You already forced the TP away here from the side of Zeppa, who initially was trying to...
Yo, Zeppa can hear him running, no? Yeah, they know he's running. Oof, no.
Because there's no util to stop them as they enter towards A site.
Dude.
Pistols, well.
The double swings they have to apply that damage. Get some of these guns down. It's not retrievable just yet, but it is a little bit scary for the post plant here. Zekin spamming through, using that hero rifle on this buy. Or I should say upgrade rifle.
Bro, these whiffs!
Shots are missing, though. There's an opening for C9. Not anymore.
Yeah, he closes it down. Oh, waiting on the right side, waiting for the crossfire.
Ah! Alright, he got it.
Coming in for Zekin, they let him have the eye.
Yo, Baduka's probably pumped, man. This guy's,
Remember the PC giveaway from
hitting.
by Power, the first ace of every week coming through. After that, the $100 gift card and $100 in I Buy Power merch. Hashtag unlock your ace, baby. I mean, Zekin continues to unlock his aces.
Yeah, make sure
dude, for real. I'm gonna tweet. I'm gonna make a clip later, Soft, and it's gonna be me doing the hype thing. Maybe I'll clip it so that Zekin can or Zelsis when I say I'm Zelsis, but I'm gonna clip that, and then I'm gonna at Zekin and say, hey, everyone needs to know what you have for breakfast, bro.
Indeed.
I was like, that would be very surprising if Imi was doing that, but no, I want to be a little bit more take pause gear.
So we got.
All right, my video might be ready tonight around 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Soft. 8 p.m. baby.
We'll try to find it.
Okay. Oh, we gave it to him. What we got?
There it is, chat. There it is.
Ooh, got him again.
Dude, he's not missing on it.
Yeah, part two.
One more. On shoot.
1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Oh man, I'm almost at 250 followers on or subscribers on YouTube.
He's destroying your scissors.
Let's go.
Come on. All right, we get this tech pause sorted out.
I'm excited.
We were talking about
dude, it's also crazy looking at the shift in my analytics.
Just looking at the
literally, when we posted that video, it was very clearly Tuesday and Friday that were the hot spots for me. In that time, everything has shifted. Now Wednesday, for some reason, is one of my hot days. Saturday is one of my hot days.
They're still always firing high in the ranks, even with these changes. Even
Sunday, kind of.
They still find their way.
But like the way the day shifts is kind of crazy.
Is always the question.
Yeah, at least Imi when he was mentioning at the helm of C9, you know, replacing MC and going into Coach C9.
Yeah.
With the different iterations that came through of like the Moose, the Rooney, the Vanities of the world. But this time around in 2025, he definitely feels that confidence that this is the best iteration of C9 that he's had to coach. And he fully feels confident that this will be a team that could actually defeat world star teams over in the Valorant scene, not only in the Americas, but across the world. But first, of course, you have to try to qualify over the Masters. But he said it is still a work in progress. You might still need a little bit of time in order to flush that all out. But there is a chance when, you know, there's a day where everybody's kind of feeling it. You've seen those matches. They could definitely do some crazy upsets as his Dark Horse team going into the playoffs, as a Dark Horse team going into Split 1 in 2025 here in Americas.
And it's still incredibly young. Multiple players too. I mean, you got Mitch and Zeppa who are
Interesting.
the veteran status and the pedigree they have.
When people search YouTube,
I feel like it has
obviously free advice guy,
the 4v5,
but
Oxy's
for this video, 13% of my views have been somebody searching for a financial advisor, financial advice, and financial planning. The last three are 2.2%.
With this roster overall, let's say Lotus, for example, or how he's trying to move in.
Oh no, I'm sorry. YouTube is only YouTube search is only 7.2%.
But it doesn't necessarily have to be that game plan of Oxy go kill and try to play a 4v5 anymore, because now you have to play against Zeppa, who's probably had the best career so far in the VCTs on the America stage. So the 2025 year has been amazing for him so far. And they also, with the addition of Vic, we've already seen what Vic could do ever since he joined this roster.
What the heck?
A little bit of a sleeper in the first place, but he's totally killing it so far.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we're going to step away for a moment. Let's hear from Cloud9 IGL Mitch and how he feels about the team's performance.
Yeah, financial advisor for sure. Not financial planning.
People are a little bit more tense.
Maybe advice.
I think
but financial advisor for sure.
Be a lot more pressure on, you know, even like the experienced players. I think for stage, because they know that they're playing for Toronto. It's going to be a lot on the line, and I think whoever makes the big plays are going to qualify.
I would say multiple 3Ks qualifies as big plays. So Mitch is on that list right now for making those happen. He's been having a great game so far.
Definitely seen that, at least for sure, on that previous map. But to touch back onto Vic, he's been the one that's been doing so many multiple kills and a lot of highlight reels. Remember, on this very map, behind the A site, getting a superb ace against Furia, or how he's playing on Rubble. He's a player that's just able to find some good aggression, and it kind of fits C9 quite well. Paranoia's TPs, he's not trying to play like kind of like a safe style of Omen. I love the style that he brings here over to this agent for this team.
Yeah, and talking about players on C9 that used to be, Zelsis over there too. Used to be a
Yo,
player.
Man, what stinks is Soft. This video I posted like in the last, YouTube in the last hour or so. But for everything else, this might be one of my best, most concise videos ever.
So seeing Narrate now come into a different light and being able to play under all that stress, but
let's see.
We're not seeing that emotion take him over now. Like the brains that Zelsis brings to the team there is huge in helping everybody.
It's cool
second too on screen.
As you mentioned that in terms of Narrate trying to battle his own demons, that was what we were just talking about on that previous map when it was Net that kind of had like highs and lows of like doubting their performances. But he's been so good in the last 2 weeks here for Narrate.
For sure.
He's been opening a lot of rounds here for Sentinels overall. And just when we just talked about and heard what Mitch was saying about about C9, for example, the pressure that is on their shoulders trying to qualify for Toronto, I feel that there's still some sort of small pressure coming in from the side of Sentinels, because they kind of want to try to win this to play in Toronto, not only for Sen City, but I would also...
Thunder, are you real?
Who, you know, played in the MENA division out in Africa for the longest time, trying to qualify through the Tier 2, going into North America, playing from Montreal, to play under the M80 banner, and now has an opportunity to get picked up. IGL lead this team in Sentinels and wants to play in the home crowd of Montreal.
DJ Noises, are you real?
Flying in from different areas, different provinces to see John Cutie play.
Honestly, has to be awesome.
I'm going to be banning people this weekend.
This weekend. Away. But right now we're going to hear from Zelsis to get his thoughts on facing off against Cloud9.
Vic has been like playing outstanding. Oxy has been playing well. Zeppa has always been frying. Like and Mitch is just like consistent. Net is consistent in their roles. Like I think they're a well-rounded team. Sadly, playoffs is a whole different beast. Like it's a whole different like feeling. It's a whole different feature. Like I just feel like they are going to be a little bit shaky in playoffs, especially coming off the choke loss that they had against MIBR. I think they'll definitely be a little bit shaken up. So I think them for us, as long as we don't go in nervous against their nerves, I think it should be like an easy match. But I think they've definitely found themselves as a team.
My man said, I think it should be an easy match, bro.
This next song goes out to Cox Mobile for letting me video call my dog while we're on tour. From San Diego to Boston, I said hi, you started barking. Cox Mobile's got the bars to keep us both howling.
We run on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability, so whether you're at a concert or on the road, you'll stay connected. Visit cox.com/mobile. Cox Internet required. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability per Ookla US 2H 2024. Other restrictions apply.
Yo. And that's what you were saying about him last year, brother. Or whenever that was. Whenever we were talking about that. I guess it wasn't a full year ago or whatever, but that he was a great initiator. And look at him in the pros doing it.
Oh my God. Make or break on Haven, and Oxy's already found the opening kill. He's just sending it. Oxy, no one's watching him.
We are back in the VCT Americas Arena, almost ready to get into game. I promise I am asking Vans to hit the play button, and he's hovering. He's hovering.
For me. It's broken for me. I'm still trying to fix it.
Okay, that's why.
I'm still trying to fix it.
That's why. So that's what we're getting fixed up, and then we'll get right into game. All of the rock, paper, scissors has been played out. We got everything sorted on stage here, so we should be back in quite shortly. If you don't remember, right before we went to break, we had the Zekin Ace. I mean, that possibly could have broken the server. He's playing crazy, and maybe they're just giving away the PC he has right there, so they just had to hook up a new one, right? But no, really, Zekin 6-1 right now. The Dimensional Drift is up on round 3 because of what he just did, so I don't expect this to be an easy bonus round here for Cloud9.
It's crazy too, right?
Anti-bonus.
Yeah, exactly. But even for Zekin to get the Dimensional Drift already in round number 3 is just reminiscent of what happened on a set before in the first half when they were playing on defense. He's had like 3 or 4 Blade Storms going through, so that is definitely a key component into adapting for the day. That they're like, okay, well, we don't have to try to pivot towards C9's aggression. Or try to figure out how to play
I mean, he is such a game breaker. It is kind of crazy.
Around the activation that he has around the Blade Storm, the activation now that he has around the Dimensional Drift. I'm quite surprised though that we are moving over to actually, at least for Ascent, if you're looking at the first place, the map that was picked here for Cloud9, because at the desk they were mentioning here that C9 were testing out their map pool throughout the season, right?
Yeah.
You went into a 7-map pool.
They kind of touch on everything.
Exactly, and it's like, okay, well, it's nice we're able to play like our own game or try to have a feel about how we play against our opponents. But you're playing now against a team like Sentinels that haven't touched Ascent since last year. So you're trying to play your own game. You don't really know what Sentinel's going to be coming in with. And then unfortunately, yet where you maybe have some sort of read against the KO Nateo, you couldn't get stopped by how Zekin was able to activate through. And it almost looked like Sentinels were even more prepared into C9's macro. Remember those spots where Zekin's walking outside of the smoke because it was smoke towards pizza, runs out, gets a pick. So again, there's been more on the side here of C9 that they have to try to turn it around to hopefully bring this back in. Maybe force this into a 3rd map of Icebox. But that said, thank you so much for your patience, chat. Let's start moving back in the server.
Let's go.
Bonus round now available for Sentinels. It's strong. A rifle for a second. Already coming out with the Dimensional Drift. Trying to find the info. And it's being pinched on left and right. They'll probably have a read. There's 3 players out there. And now it's a pinch. 4 players out towards the A site.
Cruising. About to be out of it.
And there's that trip. The one that Net likes to place kind of like a vice wall to get information where the pressure's coming from. How does C9 react around that? And you see them pulling up the camera at the same time, trying
That's
to get
interesting.
pressure in on middle. And as he sees nothing yet, all of C9 can stay stacked up towards the A side and try to stop this push.
Zekin's going to be be on the forefront of this one. The head of the spear goes towards the smokes. You can see low health just on the other side of that as they're trying to decide. Second gives himself an out. They make sure
I was gonna say, how does Bang not die there?
Layer of the sight is there, but no. Cloud9 starts to come out of the woodwork with shots from left and right, and the crossfire is beautiful.
And unfortunately, the vines being thrown by Zelsis kind of stops here the opportunity from the last few players of himself and Zekin trying to swing out to go for trades. So he just has to keep players at bay. Try to keep them towards the A site where you see Zekin is moving for a plant.
30 seconds left.
So the responsibility now for Zelsis, stay. Try to watch back and maybe go for a fight towards the back of the spawn. If not, I mean, if he's going to walk back towards the street, that camera being set up here by Net can see a lot.
Zelsis, the super quiet here. He's got 3 people to pass and then a little extra time to wait here. But not too long. You can't leave Zekin out to dry on this situation. It's going to be tough, and the pincer even harder as Zelsis has the timing. Second trying to stay alive, gets a spam, but he doesn't throw him off.
Yo!
He's able to take one, but he's done his job. 2 for the round.
No!
Is happy with
No!
He's
smoked.
Smoke is there. It's at half. They're not even looking. He misses the first shot, but he's going to have it. Nose on
Go, 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 go!
It does go through.
Yo! Zelsis, let's go! Let's go, boys!
The double Z's coming out from Zekin and Zelsis, putting C9 to sleep. What a move moving out here from Zelsis. The patience that he has.
Let's go, boys!
To leave Zekin alone inside the site. You were talking about it. It was going to be a tough position for Zekin in the site, but you know he's going to be good for at least one.
And he got shot through the box and didn't overreact. Like, so
Man, 0.14 is crazy.
As a unit so far, this team on the attack side of Sentinels.
That is such like a energy sucking loss.
Try to gamble it up here. Try to get this orb to build up an
No, I don't like this.
Within the next round.
Oh, family photo right outside to dismiss. They were not expecting that.
Did you see that TP from Second?
Cam up and have had that space for free all the time. And Sentinels just pulled the rug out from under him on that. 3 dead, and the push towards A easily happening here. Zekin, again, one off of ultimate.
I mean, we're going to sound like a broken record by the end of this game. Zekin owns. Zelsis owns.
Yeah.
But there are 2 players that are pretty decent in the clutch. Unfortunately, though, for Cloud9, they don't have the best weaponry to work with.
Staying quiet. Just trying to hide around the utility right now. Got it. A few jumps onto Zekin, but he still gets one. Okay, Stinger does some repeated damage, but it's not going to be enough. Narrate gets that final kill here, and Sentinels are moving through the defensive protocols of C9 like butter here. Just dismiss and gone. They were so ready for that on 3 different levels to fight that too.
And a similar score again to Ascent. Going into round number 5. Zekin,
but passively.
Zekin already has another dimensional drift to work with, and now Cloud9 pulls a timeout. The first one here of the second map, trying to work around what we saw before we headed into the replays. Ults available on their side of the defense, and knowing that Zekin has his dimensional drift available, I wonder if they want to try to get some sort of play to get behind and fight behind the dimensional drift that Zekin is going to try to utilize to get information.
Man, there's also, I don't know if we've talked about this, Soft.
Against that push from Cloud9 when Oxy was
New
trying to
follow.
So hopefully they'll be able to bring some sort of, or cook something up here to not give too much space for Sentinels to work with on this map of Pearl, because the rotates are quite difficult to do here on the defense.
Zeppo will meet him in the dimensional drift. They'll have some.
But there's like a Twitch has their own alert system.
Kills on those duelists though. Oxy and Zeppa having a little tough time in the first 4 rounds again, getting started. Once we saw it switch on Ascent.
I kind of want to use it instead of the alert box that's been around forever through Streamlabs.
Here on Pearl.
Twitch has their own. The only thing is, if they subscribe and I guess I could have them both, but
they may be using these ultimates
no, that won't work.
To make sure.
I'd have to set them up so it only worked on
Unfortunately,
things outside. Anyway, never mind. I don't think I'm gonna do this.
And it looks like we do have another tech pause coming through. You are all warriors in the crowd and viewing at home. We appreciate you. as we will get through this as soon as possible and update you when we can. Looks like we're going to get Bang sorted out here on stage.
Yeah. A tough one, though. Keeping here the suspense going on the edge of her seat, because we just mentioned what would be the plan that Imi would be calling out here for Cloud9. We didn't have a chance to fully see everything yet in the server in terms of flies, so we'll just wait this for a bit as, yep, that is not the type of drawing we want to see here.
The curse of the sign.
It's a cute drawing.
It is.
It's just a warning I don't like. I don't like tech pauses.
It's a Nomen. Wait a minute.
No, actually, it's two Astros playing.
That's true.
Oh, no, we can't do these type of tech pauses. Not when you got two old dads here on the desk just doing a bunch of dad jokes.
So it looks like they'll get Bang sorted out again on this. Zekin went from 6-1 to 10-3 just in that short amount of time, which is ridiculous. I do not understand it. And Zelsis as well, we saw him just on the previous round. Something about Zelsis, when Vice came out, unlocked another level in him. Even saying he loves the kit, loves the situation he can get himself in and out of with that agent. And it really has been a shiner for him whenever he can use that in an anchoring position. Very quick to come out with a few kills. And we just saw the last clutch as well between him and Zekin.
But it has been a great series so far for sure. When you're looking back at what Imi was just talking about during the interview with Liz before we got into the second map. What's going on here?
They dropped the sign.
Oh,
to the floor with you.
I dropped the sign.
Stop it. Oh,
Anyways,
they're in the stage.
Yeah. We're fixing it out. But that said,
that's what the game is played.
Just to go back to what Imi was talking about with Liz earlier on too, when he reflected on what happened on that first map of Ascent, there's been small mistakes that we just mentioned when we were casting that rendered very costly. Some small individual mistakes, but also the call to go for a force buy. I think it was like a 10-4 scoreline or something like that. So we had a couple of stinger buys. They had to force buy for 2 or 3 rounds in a row to finally get the ball rolling. I think after this timeout is just to make sure that they maintain their calm as well on the side of C9 so that they could just focus on the game and not worry about the 4-0 lead that Sentinel's already built.
That's right. All right, we'll see what they can do. Cap looks a little stressed here before they get in the game, but Kaplan delivers the strats for Sentinels, and we ask him to help strategize your evening with some recommendations on what to watch. It's time for Show and Tell.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Kaplan here. So today we're going to do a little show and tell. I'm a really big movie guy, one of my favorite hobbies outside of Valorant and esports. So I brought some stuff in that I'm going to be showing you guys to kind of tell you about what movies I love and what movies I think you should check out. First thing I've got here is a book about my favorite director, Satoshi Kon. This book's called Satoshi Kon, The Illusionist. Satoshi Kon's awesome. He's an anime movie director. He was an anime movie director. This guy and his movies are always sitting there at the top. They're always the movies I come back to. A lot of the movies that people know and love, like Inception, are actually totally inspired. Even shots are just exactly copied from this guy's movies. So some favorites that I recommend people check out would be Paprika or Perfect Blue. So this book, Stories of Your Life by Ted Chiang, it's a short story book. This guy wrote a story called Stories of Your Life, which is the short story that inspired the movie Arrival. It's really cool to not only enjoy a movie, but to check out what inspired it. It really makes it a lot more fun to watch a movie over a second time. One of my favorite shows of all time is Cowboy Bebop. And right here, I bought this for myself. It's just a cool little watch. It's a little Cowboy Bebop watch. The interior is kind of inspired by the dashboard of the Swordfish, which is the ship that the main character Spike flies in Cowboy Bebop. But it's just kind of fun to have a little item that represents my love for my favorite show. So yeah, my top movies of all time, it's a really hard question. I would put at number 1, Place Beyond the Pines by Derek Cianfrance. It's just an incredible movie. It captures kind of that New England atmosphere, which is where I grew up. At number 2, Paprika, which is by Satoshi Kon. It's all about mixing kind of dream and reality and your memories. For 3, I would say would be Arrival, which is by Denis Villeneuve. The character can actually see into the future and how it would affect how you live the past out, or maybe how you wouldn't change anything even though you know the outcome of something. That's my top 3, all very related to kind of like time and memory, and I encourage people to kind of watch them all, and it'll make you really think about those themes. Thank you very much for tuning into my show and tell. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it inspires you to check out some of the movies I recommended, or just kind of learn and read more about movies in general.
Well, folks, I managed to steal someone from the crowd. It is Net's mother, Angeli.
Net's mother.
The C9 mom here. Now, we were talking a bit earlier. You live in Las Vegas, and you're visiting here. This is your second time visiting here. What is it like coming out here for your son's matches?
Oh my gosh, it is so different from when we watch at home. We always have like watch parties with our family. Right now I'm sitting here, I am so nervous. I just want to like, scream and cry. But yeah, these guys, I am so proud of them just for even making it to playoffs. And I'm just so grateful to C9 for giving Net a chance. So this is wonderful.
Now we see Net kind of popping off, like shouting, saying like, "This is us," etc. Is that always been him? Has he always been kind of just like this, like kind of loud, boisterous, kind of like hype man?
Oh yes, yes. He played like lacrosse and football in college, so he's a big sports guy. So he was always like their like team guy, and he's doing that here. So
he is asleep? Question mark. I don't think he knows this is happening. What do you think he's doing right now?
Net, your mom's here. Wake up. Yeah.
What do you were talking earlier? You think he's like maybe thinking or like meditating?
I think he's praying. Yeah, his grandma's up in heaven watching him and so proud of him, and he's praying to her right now and saying, "Grandma, just bring us over that finish line." Yeah.
What is? Oh, that's very sweet. But when we have, sorry, I heard someone clapping. When we have, the arena with all of these Cloud9 fans. You said you watch at home with your family members, but what is it like being with the fans who come here for your son?
Oh my God, I love you guys so much. Thank you. Although there's a lot of Sentinels fans out here, but we're big fans of Zekin too. So let's go.
Now, one last question, or I have another question for you about Net becoming a pro esports player. What was that conversation like? Did he come home one day and was like, "Mom, I have a job"? How did that go?
This kid could have done anything. He could have been in like the orchestra. He could have played lacrosse in college, and he chose Valorant. So it's like,
dude, no way.
Whatever makes you happy.
Okay, it's a
kid,
bruise, but
And one last question: when he sees this and he realizes he has missed everything, and he's like gotten lower, guys, by the way, what would you like to leave a message for him? What would you like to say?
Kid, I am so proud of you, and just keep doing you, and I love you so much, and you got all of us behind you, your whole family. So let's get this. Let's close this out, C9.
Let's close this out, C9.
Thank you so much.
At least we know that the noise-canceling headphones work pretty well, as we do have Net's mom that was trying to wake him up, but unfortunately he still has to sit back and relax and wait until we can continue on in this match. Unfortunately, we're trying to get the fix going through, but it might take a little bit more. But I do love, at least for the fact that you do have somebody that has been played a lot of college sports.
His agent said, "Pray for the bear." If you understand that reference, I don't understand the reference.
As a dad, kind of like it. Supporting my kid to try to see what he wants to do in the future.
What does it mean? What does it all mean?
Communication, strats. You got to be disciplined to play your games. But so far, it's been a very good match. Sentinels currently in the lead.
Honestly, I think if he doesn't come back and he can't play well, Rockets maybe now win this series. I think with Jimmy, the Warriors win this series kind of handily.
That said, for those who's joining us right now, the state of the game is still Sentinels with second at the top.
All right.
That said, though, looks like we still
Kobe had some great quotes. Kobe had some great quotes.
So let's check out Cloud9's Mitch and Oxy and how they could read the competition, but they can they read each other? We put the duo to the test.
Hey guys, it's Mitch from Cloud9 here with Oxy, and today we're going to be playing Where's the Lie?
Also, how long is wait, did Jaylen Brown play? Man, I'm so far behind.
First one, my favorite animal is a lion.
Also, I think I got sunburnt today. I went outside with my shirt off for the first time today in a while. We were walking around a park and splash pad with the kids, and now all back here hurts.
So, how long have you been pogo sticking for?
Not very long.
Yeah.
I've only done it for a couple of years. But
how much was it? Like, what if I want to get into it? Like,
it's very niche, very niche thing. So honestly, you would have to buy a pogo stick first.
Yeah. No, how much is a pogo stick?
How much is it? Honestly, I have no clue. One of my family members got.
Wait, Tatum had to sit out game 2? What is going on?
You don't know?
I know it's
I have no clue.
whoa. 5-star prospect and USC commit was involved in a serious car crash.
How old were you?
Hospitalized and placed into an induced coma. Yikes.
Maybe like
Elijah Arenas. Oh my goodness, he's the son of Gilbert Arenas.
I like that.
Yo.
That was truthful. That was good. The lion and the pogo stick is where the lie is, honestly.
He was driving a Cybertruck.
I'm gonna
It
say
caught on fire.
The pogo sticking is the lie.
He inhaled a lot of smoke.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, I guess that's protocol for smoke inhalation.
That's crazy.
That's
Wait,
such a like.
pogo stick.
That's such a random.
I used to play competitive frisbee golf.
Frisbee golf.
Frisbee golf. You know, with the buckets and the chains.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I have a cat named after a Harry Potter character, and
Man.
a degree in cybersecurity.
So tell me more about this disco whatever golf thing. Huh?
Frisbee golf.
Frisbee golf.
Yeah, disc golf.
Disc golf.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all.
So I got into it in high school. I played like a lot with my friends. 10th grade, 11th grade.
Where?
In Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
Is that where they have the courts at? Inside?
No, it's outside. Yeah, it's like yard. It's like a an actual like golf. You know.
Okay. So tell me what.
I love Devin Booker. How does it go from 0 problems in the first game to multiple tech classes? Like, I don't know. That's kind of weird.
Hacker, huh?
Yeah, hacker.
Wow, why did you name it that?
These kids don't even know who Devin Booker is, man.
Black long-haired cat.
I am.
Cybersecurity, huh?
Yeah, cybersecurity.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too.
I think I already know what it is.
You're doing. Have a good one.
Why is the
Dude, that might be one of the cutest things I've ever seen.
Is it Hagler?
I never played frisbee golf.
Oh,
Are you Devin Booker?
Yeah, I
Aw.
actually do have a cat named Hagrid.
Alright,
Bro,
so.
I thought I told you.
No, I know you had a cat, and then I was like, cybersecurity. I didn't know you had that.
Yeah.
But I was like, the first one. That's why I was asking so many questions.
Yeah. That's it for us. We're able to spot the lie. Thanks for watching.
Oh, man. Oh! Yo! These dudes apologized to Reggie Miller for costing him in 04. Honestly, the 04 Pistons are the biggest what if in NBA history, man. The biggest what if in NBA history. And Steven Jackson is here apologizing to Reggie Miller. Yeah, I'm going to play the audio for this real quick. Let's see how it goes. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble. But at this point, I don't care. Let's see.
We all understood what our motivation was for that season. It wasn't for us. It was for you. The whole motivation was for getting things done the right way and getting the championship was for you. So I never got a chance to apologize to you for my actions. Now, with me saying that, I love you even more because you defended me, because you knew that I was just being a loyal teammate.
First of all, I gotta take a drink because told you I didn't want to go there, man.
I'm trying to hold mine in.
All right, let me start. You don't need to say that to me, man. Come on, man. So.
Dang. Yo, what's up, Bailey?
Nice to me. First of all,
This is a very long pause.
And when I say young, I mean Jamal, Jermaine, Al, myself, Ron.
This is like my childhood right
Those
here.
last few years in Indiana, my best years. I didn't have my superpowers, but
How you doing, Bailey?
And you guys made me feel like I was Superman. We had some dogs, man. We had a squad that was arguably, and I played on some Indiana teams that were destined, should have, could have, but always came short. That team, we were stacked, man. We had the best interior defender in Jermaine. We had the best perimeter defender,
Ron,
in my opinion, to this day, in Ron. you coming, having been a champion with these young guys. We had just lost to Detroit the year before without you, and we smacked them there, but you don't need to apologize because that's basketball, that's life.
I've never had a chance to tell you.
Okay, I don't know how to describe this, Bailey. I am... All right, we're about to get a little bit philosophical. I love the game of basketball. I grew up an Orlando Magic fan first, but really a Phoenix Suns fan is my team. But I am a sucker for stories. And that team, because I believe it was Rick Carlisle was the coach. And Reggie Miller, man, he's at the end of his career getting a shot. Oh, man, basketball is just a beautiful game. It's a beautiful game. But the Reggie getting his shot, like that team was so good. I'll never forget. I was at a place called Max in Tempe, Arizona with my mom watching this game. And like, I don't even know how to describe what is going on in your mind because you know this is changing everything. Yeah, dude. Moms loved Reggie Miller. Moms love Reggie Miller. He had that smile that moms love, dude. How could moms not love, had to love Reggie Miller. He seemed like the nicest dude in the world. He had put in his time. He had been through so much. Man, I can't remember if that was a Larry Bird team. That might have been a Larry Bird team, not a Rick Carlisle team. All right, now I have to look. 04, because if it was Larry, I'm a Larry Bird fan too. So it was like Pacers. Was it 03, 04? Or 04, 05? We'll know this real quick. Let's see. I think it was 04, 05. I've lived in Ohio my whole, always been a Cavs fan. We are either very bad or contending. Dude, okay, let me ask you then. I've actually been wondering this, Bailey. I know if you tell me anything different, you're a liar. But that first championship with LeBron is greater than anything you could feel. Like, as a Suns fan, I feel what you were feeling up to that day. We don't get championships, brother. I don't care how it happens. If the Suns ever get a title, I don't care what's going on in my life, I'll go. I don't care if we bought and paid for it. I don't care if it costs us $600 million. If they won a championship, boom. With that said, do you love... Oh, dude. That shot was insane. Just the rainbow, brother. All right, looks like we're about to get started here. But this iteration of the Cavs, which is more homegrown, blocked by James! Oh, it was an incredible series, man. And I always do wonder, I think it was it the year before when J.R. Smith made the mistake? I forgot. Did he dribble out instead of just putting it in? Ooh.
No way, Oxy's so ready for
it. Yo, you can just jump. You can just skip like that? That's crazy. Okay, I was 17-18. I wonder, okay, how things would have been different had they actually won Game 1. Losing Game 1 changed everything.
That was so good by Oxy to kick things off.
Man. All right, but is the... Oh, huge. Once that happened, you could see LeBron's mental break right in that moment. Because they went to overtime, I think, and then that was it. And then nothing good happened in overtime, and then they lost the series. But is this iteration of your team mostly homegrown with... Yeah, okay, they got Mitchell brought in and all that sort of stuff. Do you like this iteration of the team better? Or the LeBron years? And I'm good with anything. I'm just wondering. As a true fan.
This goes clean. Ultimates for Vic coming up. Oxy coming up in 1 pip. You see Mitch already has his so much to be used here. And now they'll close in his 3. Dimensional Drift actually comes out right away for Zeppa.
So that's weird.
Right now, letting himself getting spotted on the top is huge here for Zelsis. But they raid the push towards the street.
Quick flick on the 25 HP. Oxy's gonna get a third one for the round.
The Brawl years are truly insane to watch. Even the year we lost, that guy was unreal. See how you had an all timer at the height of his powers.
After what was their time
from near there. That's crazy. It's like death by a million paper cuts. Yeah, dude. The fact that they might drop 53s on you is insane. Dude, I also saw a nickname or a phrase yesterday that I'd never heard before about when the Cavs start rolling. A Cavalanche. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Now, hey, just to be straight with you, I don't watch nearly as much basketball anymore, man. My mom died in 2015, and so did my, like, insane joy for watching basketball. But literally, up until she died, I watched every minute of every game that I possibly could.
From the Nightfall and Bang from the Cosmic Divine.
Easy, they have the 2-2 pinch on this from Street. And over towards lobby or A main control already here. So Sentinels is...
That's crazy. I love the idea of a Cavalanche, though. It's cool.
Behind the defense.
And they're just stopping through to break that trip, so they have that confidence, knowing again that C9 likes to play towards the extremities because of these trips, informational trips being set up here by Net. So look at the chaos that they actually create now.
All right, so this is interesting.
They have to watch their
it's actually a very bad setup for SEN here. They're going to walk in 2v2.
That's happening towards Cloud9. And they're about to pinch towards the A site where maybe Zeppa has a TP out, and that's going to leave Vic alone.
Vic's ready to
all right, they know two are there.
Take it out before it got all the way to Oxy, so they can still throw a bit of a fake into this. Almost a lineup there. Zeppa's able to come back and trade out the damage, though. Very low health, and he goes down to the hands of Narrate. As Mitch from just on the other side is able to tag in some damage. 3v3 as Sentinels try to hunker down an A.
Mitch size full util as well. Starts with a recon to get a ping.
Oh!
After he hit the shot, he's gonna come flying through the blade storms. They do find it's John Cutie and A.
Hey, honestly, tech pauses are so garbage, dude. This is not the same game as it was when they went on pause. It's not the same game, not even a little bit. They literally just had to sit around for 40 minutes. There's no way their mentals are the same. Nothing. Nothing.
Remember, we mentioned very quiet on that first map, but is having crucial kills going into the second map. A double kill yet on the previous one, 3 into this round, or 2 rather.
Nice, guys, let's go, baby.
And while feeling enabled there, Oxy, he's going forward knowing the team will have him. Like, nobody can trade those angles, but they can trade the chaos that Oxy creates there. So very much behind each other on those plays where he's...
Hey, Oxy's a good kid, man. Shazam said he was the truth.
All the way towards the bottom of the streets. It spots 3 players and Sentinels and pivot very quickly on a split.
Henry, what's up? Hey, add me on your Discord to join your live stream whenever you are streaming. Hey, boy, Henry, are you real? Are you a real person or no?
Zeppa tries to peek out of one, but gets taken down by the Stinger. That means it's Sen trying to work fast here with a few of those low buys around the bigger weapons. Ooh, a vine kill onto Mitch. Nicely placed by Zelsis. Still have control of the site, and this is getting a little awkward.
Yo!
His net can grab one, but it looks like Sentinels.
He's running. He's out. That's a round. That's a round. Let's go. Henry, if you're real at all, I add you on Discord right now and tell you my password.
50 HP. Of course, he's got a regen shield with the HP remaining, but man, that was looking pretty close here for C9 to be able to get some success out of those trip kills. But lots of utility coming through for Sentinels on the execution towards that site. The razor vines, the salvos, they couldn't really find good positions to play around the smokes to try to get those picks, and it was all over.
You hear that, Henry? We got chat negotiating. If you're real, you might get my social now.
Oxy still has the up moving into the next round. Vic still has the Cosmic Divine for the retake. Now trying to play aggressively in these corners towards that right side, or the right side here of this B site.
I'm saying is speed is the name of the game now. If you know Oxy has that, Oxy has that operator, are you just trying to get behind and in front or close to it really fast? So Oxy's kind of deleted on those long-range hard angle shots. See They had to save the operator that time as Sentinels just fly into B.
Wait, Bailey, is your name really Henry? That'd be really weird. This guy's name is Henry Crew.
Small change again because we just talked about how Sentinels likes to be fairly aggressive. W push down.
Hey, oh man, I forgot to do this. Bailey, did you see my my YouTube video? And I really hate to push things. It actually makes me super uncomfortable. But have you seen my YouTube video?
From Mitch. A little bit of a street fight here going on. That's going to win that one. Does he have assistance from the team as they start going back and forth in the alley? Narrate trades it back here.
All right, give me 1 sec. I'm going to pin this message. Please watch
Unfortunately, you can hold it well enough here towards the
my new video. It's really my only video, but I'm calling it my new video.
Hesitating a little bit here, just trying to find information with the players of C9.
Stand your ground.
They avoid this Armageddon, which is nice, but they can't avoid Bang. Another one through. John Cutie's going to be able to get the trade, and they swing in. Mostly through streets and a few from long still. Even if the op was there, it looks like they can circumvent it with their pathing. Oh dear.
Oh.
A little bit of a hot foot, has to move out of that situation here. The operator very close to going down in this situation. Economy still there for another buy come in. No, it's not for C9. They need to come up big on this round. Oxy switches out. Sentinel's trying to hold it near ring one. Zelsis versus Oxy now. Possibility of getting half, but he's going to go for the fight, and it's going to be...
Woo! Clutch bro, Zelsis. Let's go, Clutch bro.
Zelsis, so many 1v1s. He's closing out in this series. From Ascent over the Pearl. And C9 almost converting. A man disadvantage on a retake. Oh. So nice on the positioning from Zelsis. The patience that he comes across. Doesn't want to push forward even if the spike's being tapped. He knows he has 7 seconds at least, or 6 seconds at least to work with before the 7-second defuse comes through.
Oh, and this buy.
Staying cool.
They are looking for loans on this one. Reaching out. We got Bulldogs. Did have a stinger. Operator, Phantom. C9 needs to be able to back each other up on this one so they don't all fall to the wayside. That was a very big win for Sentinels to make it a 4-round gap. And already into R, already messing with this utility. They are making C9 sweat on these rounds. C9 doesn't really get to play the round the way they want right away.
Such good calls coming out from John Cutie.
Jeez.
Punishing everywhere. Oxy's trying to get some leverage out of this operator. Util to push him away right into the crosshair of another. Yeah, it looks like they have to take fights everywhere across the map here for Cloud9, so you have no choice but to move around and stick in those players that has no util to help them with, so they're leaning towards an ace-line stack.
And this is a spike down for Sentinels. They're reading that they can get all the fights they want before they even have to take the site, as C9 is kind of in a position where they're hungry. We want to be first, so they're putting themselves in these dangerous one-and-dones, and they're always traded by Sentinels.
Yo, second was all the way on A, making noise, bro.
Got fully flashed by the double swing.
And now C9 and Mitch are hanging out.
Every time they finish towards B, so far in these executions, they're always up on the 4 versus 2, 3 versus 2.
That's a great point. When's the last time we really saw them go A? When they did, they got crossfired by C9.
Not only that, but C9 can't really find a way to really stop this early push or the mid-rounding from Sentinels working from this mid-control that they have back into the B site. It doesn't even matter if C9 is trying to rotate Net's utility towards this B site. They're just sorting down any type of setups that Cloud9 is currently doing.
Defeated.
They who are so good on the defensive side of Ascent has trouble finding solutions here on the map of Pearl.
And now 7-2 here as Sentinels are looking quite unstoppable.
Oh man.
A selection of Pearl, and we know why they pick it. They look clean. Their defense and attack side are clean. And already Bang.
Daggers girl goes bye-bye. Breadstick, are you real? Breadstick, hit me. Are you real? Come on now. Come on.
Okay, so this becomes the C9. Keep inching in when we can in that economy. Look at all the regen shields just to have shields and get in this round.
Signature buys for Cloud9.
Yeah.
Kill trip towards the front of the site. He has trips as well towards the A side, so they're trying to leverage Net here to anchor as much as he could.
Ooh. Turn into it. Attacks from A main as well on multiple fronts here. They're trying to figure out what they can look at and what is actually the problem. Second is the only one in here, and he's already getting a ton of information for the team before the take.
Got hit by the tripper recon, and he get wallbang.
Yeah, he's been close. Mitch, health going up a little bit there.
Well, they know the flank.
Dude, that was so wild, bro. We bounce unstoppable. Meltdown synergy. Overshadowing gloom. Minimal lines. Huge payoff. I think I'm just going to go straight ban on this one, Soft. What do we think?
They move forward too quick and really are kind of
Why? Why even push through this?
Opportunities back into the site before they get
Velvet. Hey, let me just... Actually, I'm going to give you a shot. Velvet, if you're real, say anything else right now and I won't ban you.
Just looking at the macro out for Sentinels on the attack side. The condition that they have, always working towards middle, pushing Oxio in, and suddenly, in the previous round, working towards the extremities, and C9 weren't ready for that one when the dimensional drift came through, noticing their plan anchored within the site, trying to play around kill trips once again.
And that was what, like 3 conditioned rounds towards B?
Exactly.
And then they finally go A.
Now you're seeing Sentinels it's a similar storyline as Ascent. Just back and forth we went, even if Sentinels won the bonus. Cloud9 found ways to like catch up for a bit into a 4-2 scoreline, but then it could potentially now be a 9-3, 10-2 half for Sentinels going into the second half. But thankfully, Zeppa, gets the first blood with the Sheriff buy. That C9 has an effect from Moxie!
I think you have to attack middle now. If I'm Sentinels, I go and attack door to take these guns away, but...
Under the skin of Sentinels here. I mean, you're not going to get this every round, so they better use the advantage they have coming out of this one immediately. Still, we've seen the 2v4, and it's not even guns for C9 this time.
Crosshair Placement could be good again.
Last player standing.
Can Vic finish it off? Bang goes for another one, an ace on the board, all by himself here. Zeppa and Net are left. Has to deal with the flashes. And the uplink shows exactly where he is.
That's huge, though. Not getting spammed after the hat came through and he survives. Now he could play around
No,
the map.
why go that way?
Keep C9 guessing. At least weapons got picked up now. 2 rifles on the side of C9.
Bang.
Yo! Bang!
Another iBuyPower ace and another one from Sentinels in this series. Remember to keep hitting up the iBuyPower social iBuyPower hashtag unlock your ace and get those gift cards.
That is crazy.
Dollars of each in merchandise. My God, these guys are delivering the game and to the fans today.
Sentinels fans definitely are getting some goodies so
Yo,
far.
he has 40 health here.
Players across the board. Mentioning clutches out from Zelsis. Aces on this first map or second map from Zekit.
Bro. He was 2 shot because they had Phantoms, but 1 shot with a Vandal. That's crazy.
Now 9-2 scoreline. Last one of the half. Op is back in the hands of Oxy, and again, still trying to find an answer for Cloud9. Back into the double duelist, trying to play some sort of high-low. Back towards Art, trying to stop the push here from Sentinels, who are staying all the way back towards spawn in the very beginning.
Man, I don't know what it is. Whoever C9 is playing, they got that playoff plot armor, man. They just... These rounds, it look like C9 will come back. Some other aura just stops it from happening. And now, Sentinels, like you said, look like they grabbed the 10-2, especially after they identified the op. They've been able to move around Oxy so well in these games so far and not really allow him that pop-off moment.
They already used Narrate to throw some prowlers towards the A side first, then going for the ping into the B side. So Sentinels looks like they're really...
Man, they're running to a 3-way or a 3-person thing here.
On the backstab if they can.
The ultimate is ready.
All right, Steel Garden pushes just out of sight. Armageddon actually takes the right side of Steel Garden that's available. And where they might be...
No way. He just got right-clicked on that?
Oh my God, Bang just going for the full drive-by. Zeppa's going to punish that. Zeppa's going to punish that. The 3K coming in. The spike is down. And it looks like we'll get a repeat of Ascent, a 9-3 first half, unless we see the world from Narrate.
You want to Narrate to get some action, but there's no time left to pick up Spike to plant. Zeppa goes nuclear in the last round of the half to salvage the round for Cloud9. And to bring it back to the 9-3 potential curse and see if C9 can bring this back here in the second half. But man, was it aggressive coming out. They pulled the rotate over towards the B side. They gambled correctly here for C9 to just over-rotate and win those fights.
History repeats itself for that first half scoreline, but can C9 write a different ending and bring us to a map 3? We'll find out after the break.
Nine 3 can't be a hater, but
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at nissanusa.com.
all right. I just finished looking. That was a Rick Carlisle team with Larry Bird as an executive.
Worlds, one amazing theme park. Get ready to explore the all-new Universal Epic Universe, featuring the wizarding world of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, Super Nintendo World, How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, and Dark Universe. Epic Universe opens May 22nd at Universal Orlando Resort. Our universe will never be the same. Tickets and packages on sale now at universalorlando.com.
Side with 9 rounds to their name. This was big on Ascent because Sentinels was also able to take that second half pistol round and basically close the door on Cloud9. It is super important that C9 can score this pistol round if they want to stay in.
And it hasn't been looking good.
Interesting. How do we know this? Saitoshi or whatever?
Defensive start against
How do we know?
It was basically 11-1 on their defense.
Yeah.
To close it out on a 13-1, but now no answers at all with whatever Sentinels are throwing round after round. And even when they did, you have one player just stepping up to the plate in Zekin and Bang.
Oh.
Let's see if Kaplan has...
Man, 100 Billy?
When they're going for the end of the game, that they don't let up any, that they go for that finish, that they find the win that he was talking about between games where they felt like they'd won already and they let off the pedal. C9 will definitely take advantage if they get the chance. We'll see their first strat poking a little bit towards the B side of the map.
Yeah, already Zeppa's down to low HP. And at the very beginning, we're just trying to see if Zelsis has anything set up towards this B site. Unfortunately, it's being set up here towards A. The triple push coming out here from Sentinels 2. So right now for C9, they feel like they have an open site and it's easy, but they have a pinch on both ends here. If C9 doesn't flip the map to work back towards the spawn, they might be in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, I like this. How many teams are confident enough to push through that spawn ramp? So they're going to have everybody in sight now coming from the back, and they're going up the street side. They know they need to push. C9 beautifully aggressive here, but Sentinels are ready on the deep defense.
But Vic able to get those kills, and he does have a star to work with. That's going to be huge, at least to delay the start, allowing Net to get the pick.
Huge kill from Net. They're going to try to get hit on the spike. Zekin takes one down. Vic
he
is
didn't
there,
get half.
trying to figure out which side he can get on to get the perfect shot. It's not going to be a repeat from last half. Cloud9 get the
all right
and start off strong enough to keep it going.
And that was a gamble coming out from Cloud9. The trip being activated towards that flank from Net when you saw that Zekin crossed over. They said, okay, well, let's just try to push towards the street and set it towards the spawn. They still had a 3 versus 2 towards the street to win over the fights here for Cloud9, and that's what they needed there. It pays off for them to push out towards the street. They rated perfectly towards the end. And they have a chance to fight back. 2 rifles, one in the hand of Oxy and one in the hands of Mitch. Grouped up together once again.
Yeah. They'll definitely have to protect these rifles. A full stack for Sentinels, predicting towards B, so this should be a nice round for C9 here. If they can find any of the extra kills, get them on Oxy. I wonder if they give him a stinger to go far. Sorry, it's already on Zeppa, rather.
Yeah.
Zeppa to go farm and get some more orbs here once they get the spike planted.
One enemy remaining.
Still nice control. Oh my god, they salvoed each other. Amazing. They know there's no point waiting for spike.
Interesting.
No map to jump off. So bring in the salvos.
And not even a chance here to give a plant down. I'm sure somebody just hit the tab. They're like, okay, somebody picked up an orb. That means they're gonna they're gonna move towards the A site, and then you just salvo each other. I think that's Very smart. Okay, we got our third player with an ace. Unlock your ace, I guess.
What if you get an ace
bang and
all
Zelsis?
5 on a team? The ace. Oh my god, the roster ace.
But again, still a smart call here from John Cutie. You don't even allow the extra 300 credits to go across the board.
Perfect.
For C9 on top of that. No orbs to be picked up on a plant.
No, they got the
Trying to
plant.
play at least not necessarily the long game. You're trying to shut it down now. Not give a chance here for C9 to snowball the economy round after round.
Zekin's got a great line on B. This focus towards mid and towards A becomes that much more serious here for Sentinels, and Cloud9 is now forced to walk through this gauntlet of defense that's staring right at their position. Oh, crosshairs broken, but Zelsis still finds Oxy on top of the box. They slowly move into this one. They still have Zeppa coming around the outside of this.
I don't like this. I'm actually worried about this map. Can't lie.
But I think C9 are a little bit.
My man got stuck.
Not just on the map.
On a drone spotted too. Here comes the
Yo, please.
Bang.
Traded. A 1-for-1. Mitch with the swing, but actually Vic was looking the other way. They did not have that timed out. Oh, almost reach it. The sixth sense comes up.
I mean, this is great for Vic. Vic's got a shot. He's going to go B.
Left, not a lot of time on the clock, so it's going to be a pressure plant once he does.
Yeah, here he goes.
He chooses correctly.
This is absolutely around the Sentinels could lose.
And he knows he has to hurry up. A couple of seconds ago, maybe 10 seconds ago, salvos are being used by John Cutie, so he knows he has to move in for a plant right away. If not, John Cutie gets in range, stops the plant, and they win off time. Now still with 4 stars to work with on the side of Vic. Salvo's back up on the side of John Cutie. Zekin has drone with the decoy. You're going to play the good old Pearl map. Long range all the way up towards.
I don't think they have time for this.
Stars being set down by Vic. And the more that you're walking down here for Sentinels, the more chances Vic has to be able to win this round.
Here's the util. Brought in. Actually just takes him off. I thought I might have gotten it for a second. Oh, he hides it. Oh, down to 6 HP. He gets him through the wall.
No time.
John.
Yeah, dude, come on.
Not enough time. They checked that he was back haul, and it's a Red Bull clutch coming in for Vic. A huge play there from the controller.
And that was a key. Grab wall being thrown out by Vic. You were so close to getting it to halfway.
Jeez.
But to get him right off the defuse at that point, you have to go back for a full 7-second stick, so somebody has to stay onto that spike.
Is that a joke? Is that a joke?
He almost got punished though, because his target selection wasn't going to be on the one that was.
Yeah.
It was on the one that was diffusing. So if somebody was looking back up on the top instead of looking towards the back of the site, and that could have been a different story. But thankfully, though, he was able to escape narrowly at 6 HP remaining. And you mentioned it. Kaplan during an interview with Liz was mentioning on that first map, well, we had a good lead. We can't let up. We can't let them come back. So with that clutch, I mean, they've been flawless so far in the second half with 3 rounds in a row. And as soon as you have, flawless for C9 for 3 rounds in a row.
Right.
You want to make sure here for Sentinel's side that doesn't continue to snowball up.
There was so much more in the Sentinels' arsenal in these previous rounds. Second ult after ult, able to throw in a lot more power to these situations that they aren't getting here in the first 3 rounds, and we're seeing how much it's stunting them a little bit. The Sentinels, that is, to get those rounds necessary here to catapult them to a game point again so quickly. It's only 3 rounds away, and a low buy here for Sen means it should be another one rolling over in the favor of C9, and they bring it that much closer. They pressure that much more, and here have a chance to snuff out a timeout from the side of Sentinels, from what Kaplan had to tell the team.
Right now it's a stack towards this B site for Sentinels with a hero rifle on Zekin. Star is being utilized to try to help out John Cutie to make C9 think that they have a big stack towards. They have flashed through the swing. It's good for Sentinels, but that pivots everybody else here for Cloud9 towards this A site.
They're going in quick. Smokes go down just for a bit of that back pressure. Oh, the team's able to use these smokes so well too. Oh, Reddit on it.
Oh.
Almost got the kill still though.
Yeah.
Oxy's able to help clean that one up on the double swing. The plants come through, and a bit of shock dart damage still lingers on the members of Sentinels from the beginning of the round in Mitch.
2 rifles picked up, though. They could fight towards the back of the site.
Wolf still jumping. Use my body, he says. Can't pick up the kill still. Even trying to give the teammate help on the jump out there. Zelsis and Bang here, not long for this world, is C9 doing a great job of controlling the game when they know they have it, keeping it locked down, keeping the trades coming. Another round for C9.
7-9. I don't like it.
Gap.
I do not like it.
Still definitely see here that Sentinels are laser beaming their opponents in this eco in that previous round of Cloud9. Hero rifle that was purchased by Zekin still got some value. They dropped 3 weapons on a set of Cloud9 with it. Now that's 4 unanswered rounds for Cloud9 on the second half. Dimensional Drift available for Zeppa, and might be one of those plays again. Try to sell this fake towards the A site TP right away to see if there's going to be any aggression from Sentinels up on the top of the pillar.
We moved away from any operator game that these teams have been thinking they can put into the
You
mix.
look back, you saw him.
Ooh, it's about moving fast and faster with these dimensional drifts already towards the backside. Zeppa's looking to create space. He's just toying with these members of Sentinels right now, causing them to back up out of sight as they get the last bits of info that they can.
It's good that he was able to look back on the top of that dimensional drift here for Zeppa, because remember, it was a long time ago when on the attack side it was missed. At the entrance, here's our fight. Attempt to retake for Sentinels.
That feels a little bit awkward. You commit to one wall and there's just going to be another in your face. Who's going to play the side-to-side better? And it's Sentinels for now. 3v4. C9 looking to pick up a few more kills. John Cutie in a swing towards the backside. A beautiful kill there in the teamwork that they have set up. And they are not allowing C9 that much ground. Mitch, however, from street. Oh, he throws the Armageddon, but he's pushing. Mitch is always pushing, and he takes down John Cutie. Another round for Cloud9.
Mitch once again stepping up, a 1v1. And you thank the stars for John Cutie that he ran out of bullets with his rifles because he only had a classic to fight back against Mitch, who allows himself to get the pick with the wall bang towards the end. Down to 21 HP. That was so close there. Some good values, good run with that.
Whoa. Net is feeling it right now, my man. Holy moly. We'll hear from Nat, but we usually don't see him standing up out of his seat. Cloud9 is feeling it that silly.
Sen fans right now in the arena don't want C9 to tie up this game. Cloud9 looking for early information on the top of this B. Long. That allows here for Zeppa to start moving up, trying to find where the wall could be set up, and they realize it here. It's actually down towards the street. This is actually a good position here for Cloud9 because they have some great forward position. Zeppa's already in the front of the B long. They could start pitching out towards the street, so I love that we're trying to fight back towards the street, but Oxy could get 2 here.
Oh my gosh. The crosshair placement doesn't even allow the Sentinels player to get a full swing out from their position. And that's both down for street. A 9-9 round, looking like we're going to get here out of this. And something happened out of that last Cloud9 timeout that just lit a fuse for them.
Yeah. It almost felt for Sentinels. They were counting too much on the Vice wall from Zelsis that they thought that Cloud9 maybe was baiting that wall instead, and it would have some time. As they snuck around here for Cloud9, they hit around that corner, right at the middle of the street. It just caught some players off guard and made it easy here for Cloud9 to tie up this game. And the economy is not the best now for Sentinels. They have to go for hero rifles in the next round if they could save these 2 weapons, if not a full eco, once again for the defensive side.
And they were trying to push Guardians into this round too from the side of Sentinels, so you already saw them trying to squeak in the money there just to make sure they could keep it off of Tide. But that will not be the case. C9 are going to keep quite a few alive on this one. The 3K for Oxy as he brings up the Blade Storm. Mitch has the Hunter's Fury.
Oh boy.
9-9 now. Incredible stuff from C9. I think it's just the moments they're pushing forward. Like you mentioned, this spot from Oxy, they're not expecting people to be that far up. They're not expecting C9 to just be taking the space so willy-nilly, but they are doing it aggressively.
See that shot?
Why would the Jaguars move up to this number 2 pick?
For Sentinels.
Yeah, Kaplan's trying to have the conversation here with the team. We just talked about the economy situation for the defensive side, losing those 2 weapons at the A orb. They have to go for some sort of a eco. You'll see once we get into the server. just maybe a stinger for some, shares maybe for others, but overall here on the side of Cloud9, they've been doing a great job working around the map on the attack, just like Sentinels did before, but getting much better success out of it with now 6 rounds in a row on their side. Sentinels probably has to find a way
was that for Travis Hunter?
Way more aggressive than they have been in the past, just not only having Zekin alone walking up on the top of these B ramps and TPing away, because the space when you TP out is the space regained by Cloud9. When they're usually so good with this composition for flood retakes, they just lose. Just similarly to Cloud9, a lot of players in the process once Cloud9 gets the plant down.
We will have a quick tech pause out of here. Oh, I think we will be back with that tech pause quite quick as we see Oxy returning to his seat nice and fast. We appreciate the speed. Thank you for not tripping and falling. And we'll get right back into the action. And yeah, we have the timeout that did just go through. And Kaplan, like you said, feels like they need to sort something out here. That low buy has to go against quite a few ultimates. What can they craft? What can they do to stop C9? I love the fact that you pointed out what they were using the Zelsis wall, right? Because we talk about this, it's not that Zelsis should pick Cypher, but we were talking about how Net used the Cypher cam plus multiple trips to not have to just rely on the one thing, and it does seem like that one thing, the wall, is being slightly exploited here. So crowd, which capsule? Which one are you picking, left or right? Which capsule do we want? So Sen said, well, yeah, there's a
Tarek capsule.
There's a Tarek. All right. What do we got?
Which one do you want?
Which one?
Left, right? Oh, it's with the head.
Sentinels. Okay.
It would be funny.
Oh,
if,
I was gonna say, all right.
If we had a Sentinels fan choose a C9 Classic. No, okay,
no. Oh yeah. Stage mirror is the thing.
Exactly.
Oh no!
See, we have to choose the ones that don't have the jerseys.
Yeah,
that's a Sentinels hoodie. That has to be a Sentinels Classic right there, right?
Find the Thunder Sticks from C9.
I thought we were half and half. Oh, what?
Yes. Wait, Stephen A. controversy? No, I did see the new Shannon Sharp stuff.
What we got?
What did Stephen A. do?
C9 fans.
What is this now? 4-2?
That's something. Oh, that's easy.
5-2.
Yeah. Hubert on that vote.
Chat, what's been your headshot accuracy now supporting your favorite team's Classic?
Yeah, chat, which one are you supporting? What's good? Oh. Caught in 4K.
Dude,
they practiced. They know already.
Rob Moore,
Never
good job.
confused.
Good job having Zelsis shield the Sentinels bundle.
Yeah. Oh.
There we go. Okay, so we got a double C9 in that one. Okay.
Got it. Oh. C9 all day. There you go. They're there. We're finding them. Oh, of course. Oh, wait. No.
Mrs. Net, please.
Sabotage by Net's mom.
Oh, yes. And that he wants the whole thing released, right?
Of course.
Uh-oh, kid's going wild. Hold on.
Tarek mentioned.
Now I was starting getting red right away. I mean, I feel like if the camera's on me, I probably would.
I would whip it. I would whip
yeah.
it the first time out of excitement. I'd be like, oh yeah, of course. Or I just put both hands up.
I was gonna say I'd probably
down,
win because I usually would point both. I purchased like what 24 classics from last year. Now my kid can't eat.
Oh. But the teams are eating good.
Yeah, true.
Teams are eating good. Oh no. Okay, yeah. You like put the Tarek down faster. It's like C9. Sen, all these Sen voters.
At least while we continue forward with our fans here voting for the best classic.
Yeah.
Cloud9 once again, they're showing.
The internet is undefeated though.
Yeah, Sen maybe
they said if it ever comes
Cloud9
out,
is winning
and he doesn't say
exactly.
skip,
They have an opportunity to trade maps against each
they're
other.
gonna be upset. That's the internet, man. That's the
First
internet.
percent picked by Cloud9.
Yeah, we're gonna go team map beat, right?
Yeah.
We beat your map, you beat our map, and then
they'll have to go to Icebox.
And it's gonna go quadruple. It's gonna be better than the Foot BBL game.
If anything, there was a little bit of trouble for Sentinels on the map. Like the series that they lost for the first time, or the only series he lost in Split 1 was actually against Group. And
Okay.
one of those maps was
The
actually
Boise
on
State kid
the
went
map
to
of Icebox.
Las
And
Vegas.
what does
Nice.
Cloud9
Okay, this
usually
is
bring out on this map? Double controller. They played the Harbor, they played the Viper on top of that.
Every pick from the draft.
Yeah.
So it's been a pain point for Sentinels when they had to play against Group for that one.
Man, NFL.com is like
I
dying.
feel personally when I
Shane
was
tweeted a
watching that
screenshot
game,
today
it
of his
was not
response.
necessarily in
This
terms
is a
of
text
the
he
macro, but
received.
the micro.
People
They
are saying
were
he
really
just
together
screenshotted
for
what his
these
attorneys
team
wanted to
fights,
say
and they're
instead
scaling
of
back towards the map.
copy
We're definitely seeing
pasting.
at least so far in this series.
Yeah.
So it definitely
Hey
could
man,
be a
it's a
different
good way to
story
make sure
if
you don't make a mistake.
This goes into a third map.
Just
Speaking about that, before we get into the
post it.
third map, the second map has to finish. And we get a chance now to move back in. Thank you once again, chat, for your patience. And now back here after the timeout from Kaplan. Only the Stinger small armor from Narrate being purchased, while the rest here of the team are on Sheriffs. Zelsis with a classic, working together, trying to push up towards middle for control. And Zekin might get punished though as he's trying to move up here towards the orb.
All 5 here? They're not even leaving anything towards Art, which is actually a pretty good selection because they'd be running into a whole swath of people. But yeah, this is a very cautious round. I love that both teams have that inkling that something's going to be going down. And they play accordingly in the death ball. Sen may have a little bit of an upper hand here. 2 of those Sheriffs are rotating around slowly, as long as Net didn't check that camera.
He hasn't been checking his camera. This is an opportunity now for Sentinels or even for
There
C9.
it is.
There you go. Okay,
Hello.
now that's information.
And they all start moving forward. They say, okay, no point in going back. We saw 1. There could be way more with the confidence of that push. And they're going to slam site knowing that they have numbers. A lot of concuss going down on the backside. Give it a quick shake and you'll be reset here now in the eyes of Mitch. As the Hunter's Fury burns across A site. The pings go through. The VIP...
Slow down, dude! Slow down!
Says Oxy. They protect Vic on the plant. Celsius and Narrate both fall to the wayside now. And now it's just the Sheriffs to do work as they are found at the end of Mitch's Phantom.
Oh man, and then I'm getting hit by low key post mortem.
Although
Dang,
tapping
bro.
the spike, dropping some players would be kind of good here for Sentinels. But it definitely does feel, that it should be a C9 round.
Yeah, this is going to be a very tough pincer. Wait, they let the 1v1s happen, and it's going to be tough.
Oh, no way!
Pushing forward, going for the defuse, half from Zekin. They time it correctly. The gun delivery is there too. Everything.
Dude.
Kitchen sink for Sentinels to pick up that round.
Yeah, seriously needed that
How
break
the heck
hit.
did that happen for Sentinels to turn that around back in their favor?
I love how they're all using the Wooting
See,
keyboard.
the last point, they had everybody, they feel like the site was safe, so everybody left the site. And there was no one to play off of, there's no contact, everybody's setting up util all at the wrong moment, leaving that window for Sentinels.
There was a window of opportunity at the very beginning when Sentinels were actually closing that gap and closing it to C9. And when the camera saw so much, though, that should have been like, okay, we know exactly where we're at. We should maybe flip the map over towards Art. And they did. But somehow the shots are landing better here for Sentinels in this series. We now finally are able to salvage a round in the second half. Get the first run on the defensive side. Off of Thrifty to build the economy. This might have been the swing round that they needed. Timeout was supposed to be for this round here for Sentinels to pick it up.
Yeah, they make the Sheriffs work somehow. Huge style. Now pushing towards the site. We saw Oxy just towards A main trying to get through the window in Art, but they decide to go right through Art with 3, a 4th coming. And it's only going to be Vic on the outside. Sentinels is very ready for this defense with 3 already there.
They're just trying to delay here so that Celsius can rotate across. If there's going to be a second wave pushing in by C9, you have the ult from Celsius for them to flood back within.
Waiting for a peek, waiting for any type of push, but they're not getting an inch from Sentinels. They may have a bit of a route here from street around the corner, but look at this, already set up by Zelsis. They've left the util there, the guard was Forte.
He's going to try to ult to delay this so that Zeki gets the value towards the back of the site.
Spike still going down, they're trying to plant it within the firefight.
No!
Able to get
No! Okay.
out of there. Gets taken down by Zelsis. Oxy's playing the forward motion. He's trying to stop him before they can get to the site here, and it's going to be tough as 4 very healthy members of Sentinels are about to break down the door into B site. All the members of C9 are here. They're not trying to go
Hey,
down
Big
long.
Creek,
They're trying to
are you
fight
legit?
as soon
Are
as
you
it
live?
happens on the
Are you
doorstep.
real?
The salvos are back up. Here comes the flood from Sentinels.
Oh, Oxy just between swapping weapons out of the Blade Storm is not going to be enough for him. John Cutie answers as well, and they're going to be able to
Let's
pin
go.
down
Let's go.
for that final hit, and the defuse coming through for Sentinels.
Huge game plan for Sentinels off that timeout. It's just to have Zelsis run back and forth to get that ult
All right.
ready to just help
GG
out
soft.
on that
Have a good one,
second
brother.
push from Cloud9.
I'm gonna see if my buddy wants to watch Andor tonight, but we'll see how tonight goes.
So at least to try to win the round for Sentinels, but you'll definitely take it. Stringing 2 rounds in a row on the defensive side. But what a push coming out as well. Zekin did die at the very beginning, but Zelsis was there to support, to delay, to give a chance here for Sentinels to just recoup and fled back. And Nimi is not happy with the results out of that one, especially when they had great pulse plan positioning.
Yeah, they're going to get a timeout out of that. Amy pushing that button right away. And this was, C9 did have a few rounds to their name, if we remember. 6 in a row coming into this half, so they've got some money built up. Not a problem there. This one, however, will be pretty tough and get towards resetting their money. They may have one more broken buy, and
Oh, never mind.
after this, going to be game point for Sen. So huge rifle round here coming in as Imi calls the timeout. No ultimates online right now for Cloud9, and they're pretty far from the big ones. So this is going to be all about util, all about structuring the round and getting themselves into the site with teamwork.
That is definitely the silver lining for Cloud9. 6 rounds in a row. They still have Akon to work with, but we just talked about what was going to be the pivotal round for Sentinels, that thrifty that he got in round number 19. C9 wins it, loses this round. You mentioned a broken economy, but that would also put Sentinels at series point.
For sure.
And now out of this timeout, C9 looks like they want to pivot here towards the A side, but these double stars being set down in the very beginning by Sentinels would not allow for you to really get early orb control, even being denied, as John Cutie picks that up. And that could have been huge there for Zeppa to start,
Where is this camera?
as he's been a win condition here for Cloud9 to at least
Is that
get
camera legal? That feels like it can't be
He's
legal.
able to get this dimensional drift.
Crossfires are a little scary. Yeah, Sen starts to back off just a little bit with how far Zekin is up on the other side of the map. They know one of these sites can get hit very hard, so playing the one and dones for Sen is super scary. They are all anchored in sight now on that A side.
And you see how they're playing a lot more passively for Sentinels this time around, with the exception of Zekin. They've been really good playing on the extremities of the map. The salvos from John Cutie are very good to delay.
Yeah.
But also, within the last few rounds, they've had the opportunity to play to their strength in terms of a team to play the flood retakes. And Sentinels has been faltering, trying to defend the pulse plant.
Straight into sight. Not much util to go with it. Just the default stuff. A flash, a smoke, a dash. And it's not enough to throw Sentinels for a loop here. Oxy does find himself a weapon and pretty healthy at to boot.
And he gets the Armageddon with that kill too. Beautiful haunt being thrown by Narrate. Now the Wincon here trying to survive. It's probably not going to happen. Now you're pushing him out once again. Off another plant. Zelsis is lurking through.
Oh, Zelsis. Oh, gets one, gets a second on that transfer, and he's
Let's
able to hold
go.
it down to keep the Phantom screaming. And this is going to be one of the toughest rounds Vic has faced, and John Cutie will be right there to sit him down. Match and series point for Sentinels.
Because we looked at Cloud9 with the amount of times that they were playing on their attack side, but also investing into half shields often, being one of the key prominent teams that also plays with a lot of regen shields, they're actually able to muster up a potentially a last stand. Another rifle round coming out, Guardian in the hand of Net.
A push every single round. He's done it every round. They just get to figure it out this time.
But C9 hasn't been pushing towards this B at the top, so they never understood that Zekin was pushing up, and Zekin's everywhere once again.
Zekin wants to clean up this final round. Already 2 to his name. They're running away from him towards his team.
Into the fights, util.
Bang. Look how safe he's playing, too. Even knowing they have such an upper hand, you're not going to take the fights that could get you to go down south.
No. Do not let this become a 2v3.
Take control of this round. And now the 2v4 from Cloud9's side. Can they produce the same result their opponents did previous in the series?
You definitely want these two players alive here to try to win it for Cloud9, and they do so.
Vic, full health, regened up, and they know where he is for a moment. Peeks to Zek, and Zek got it!
Let's go, boys!
And Sentinels will take down Cloud9 in 2 maps.
Ooh.
A
All right.
dominant performance by
We gotta call
Cloud9
it there. We gotta call it
on
there.
Ascent. And also on Pro World, they had to fight a bit for that second half, but they still managed to pull this through and push Cloud9 to the lower brackets, where now Sentinel still has another chance, another victory that they need to play against G2 to try to qualify to Toronto. But at least in
All right,
this
everybody.
series,
I will return.
second was
Maybe
such
tonight.
a
Maybe
treat
not.
to watch.
I don't know. We'll see.
That was
But
incredible
I love you guys.
stuff.
I'll see
We
ya